So, hello, everybody, welcome, hello. We are doing a one-shot tonight because our scheduled campaign is not going ahead, and we are joined by some of the usual crew that you will recognise from our Dungeons & Dragons game. But you'll notice that in the chair tonight, ain't me. It's not me. It's our man Jonathan Hicks, who's up there and is the creator of the game that we are going to be playing tonight. We are playing Those Dark Places. Oh, yeah, and we are looking forward to it because we have played some of these games before, and it's a rip-roaring ride. And this one, we're just being given a little bit of a clue that it's going to be slightly more investigative. So we don't quite know what that means. We'll find out very soon. Before we get stuck into that, before I hand over, just like to say a quick hello to everybody in chat. So, hey, hello everybody. Just need to. We did get visited by the hotspot, which we banned, so that was something. We're joined by Lloyd, Infinity, Hidari, and Mimo, who last night discussed in her stream that that she might. I think there was mentions of nakedness in your stream last night, and I think Bill corrected you that would probably be against toss. So yeah. So welcome in everybody from Mimo's stream, and hello to everybody who is Infinite Monkey Tales. Don't forget, you can join our games if you are interested in playing. Please jump into our Discord. Somebody will exclamation Discord, and the details will come right up, and click on that, jump in, friendly bunch, great amount of games and a great amount of talent in our community. And if you've never played before and you're just wanting to find out a little bit more about it, then we've got games for you as well. Not everything we do is streamed. Coming up in the nearest future of our schedule, we've got on Tuesday we've got our Agents of Concordia game, which I think Infinity, is that coming to a conclusion soon? Am I right in saying that?
Yes, we have one more Agents of Concordia left. Our adventurers just had a lovely time finding out that the 2 sessions that they had just used, adventuring to track down a criminal, they've just found out he's actually now back where they started. So they're now trying to get back to the beginning of the adventure to solve the issue.
I don't think that's an us doing a thing. I think that's a you doing a thing.
Oh yeah, I did.
Adventure games too many.
Let's go back. But yeah, that'll be finishing, and I believe Mark has got something lined up that we're going to try next. I think he was talking about try and Spire out.
Yep. So there is some possible that might not go ahead. So keep a checkout on Discord. There is something slated for Wednesday the 8th, but that might not go ahead. So just keep an ear open. Now those 2 games are not streamed. Next Friday, 10th of September. Oh my goodness, have we got something for you? Tales of the Infinite. It's a brand new game. And I don't know, Jonathan, do you want to tell us anything about that one, just very briefly? Is there anything you want to divulge, or are we going to keep it a big surprise?
Keep it a big surprise. I will say that it is a brand new system. It's never been played before. And the idea of this is, everybody to tune in, and what we're going to do live is run the game, introduce the rules, and design the game as it's going to see what works. So basically what you're doing is watching a live playtest. And anybody who's watching, if they want to throw any ideas, want to make any comments that help support the game, or this worked, or that didn't work, or certain directions they want the game to go in, you will be involved. There will be somebody reading the stream and saying, okay, what's his face says this, let's try that. Or we'll just gather the notes at the end of the session, I'll make some notes myself, and the next time we play it, we'll introduce some rules. So basically, it's a live game creation, games design, and you as the viewers are involved.
Wow, fantastic. Looking forward to that. It's going to be massive. Right. And then we're going back to Mutants and Masterminds on this 11th. And if you want to find out the rest of the details, please do jump in our Discord and you'll find it there, and keep an eye on our Twitter. And if you want to see any past games, get yourself over to the YouTube. If everybody here today, YouTube, give us that subscribe. Remember, it's not a Twitch subscribe, it's a YouTube subscribe. It's not the same.
It's free.
It's free on YouTube to subscribe. So please do go
Now.
over there and hit that button, and then
Smash
get us to
like
that.
button.
Get us to 100. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your co-workers. Get across there and
Tell
give
your
us-
enemies.
people that you really don't.
They're the people you want to
already-
troll and ruin the lives of.
We'll not get.
But they're
we've got some
already
good
here.
Stuff. We have got some good stuff on that, and coming up very soon is one of our very first streamed games, which was actually done on my channel, way back, to the D&D campaign that we're coming to a conclusion. So, very briefly,
It's all in black and white too.
and we had to wind the record player around because we didn't have electricity.
The glory days of
24 hours
0.5e.
Lloyd, 24-hour stream that you're going to be doing for charity. Let's a bit of details there.
So that's the first weekend. I think it's 8th and 9th of October. Doing a charity gaming marathon for the Edinburgh Children's Hospital. Because they do a lot of great work around the city, and they've kind of had a bit of a tough year with COVID and everything else. So it's to sort of help them get back on their feet.
Fundraising, absolutely brilliant. So look out for details from that. Kadari, you were GMing IMT game this afternoon. How's that going? D&D.
Fun. They've managed to get stuck on the fire plane somehow. So it's getting hot.
Ouch. Wow.
Getting hot. Nice.
Excellent. Mimo, you're streaming. How's that? What games you been playing? What you looking forward to?
What have we been playing? We've been playing Maneater. Chat loves the man-eating shark. So we've been playing a bunch of that. But next week we're gonna jump into Grounded because they had a few updates and we haven't seen them.
Cool. That's Strain, who was GMing for us last night on Friday. He'd been playing a bit of that as well and streaming. It's looking good. Right, that's it. So I think that's all of the pre's done. Jonathan, over to you. Thank you very much.
No, thank you. And hello to everybody, and welcome to the stream. Thank you again for Infinite Monkey Tales for having me on. Again, I am sorry. Welcome to Those Dark Places, and this is called the EuroMetro Lung Report. So, I don't know why I came up with that name. It'll make sense as the game goes on. So, what I'm going to do in this game is start it off slow, get everybody to introduce the characters, but I want them to realise that what you're actually doing is working for a police precinct just outside of London, to the very, very far south of England, of course. So, I shall go around as I can see you on the screen here and ask you to introduce your characters and also to let me know what your primary is and your strength score for absolutely no reason.
Wonderful.
So, Lloyd.
So I've got Pascal Sinclair, who is the sort of like the community outreach guy for the precinct. Yeah. He's a bit still like, I guess he's probably gonna be there for like a year. He's a bit fresh faced still. So his primary is liaison. And his strength stat is 2.
2.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
He's a charmer, not a fighter.
Infinity.
I am playing Finn Walters. He's been in the police force for quite some time. He's a bit of a everyone knows sort of guy. His top is engineering. He's the primary officer in engineering, and he's secondaries in medical. He's had a bit of experience with medical, but mainly he fixes stuff around the police precinct. Yes,
Pretty
the
princess.
place.
The police princep of London.
And his strength is 4, because, he does a lot of lifting of mechanical stuff. Any IT are buff people. They have to lift a lot of weight.
Brilliant.
I have
Also
no
means you
case
can't
studies here I can show you.
Mimo.
So I am Liz Dunham. She's been with the precinct for 10 years now. She is a by-the-book gal. She likes her rules. Her primary is medical, and her secondary is science. And, yeah, so she leans toward Nurse Ratchet more than Candy Striper.
Ooh. what's
And
your
my
score?
strength score is 1.
I'm so sorry.
Oh!
Sorry, I said that out loud. Sorry, I should have used my inside voice. I do apologise. Kaidari.
Good start. I am Lucas Ritter. My primary study is security. My secondary is Helm. Spent some time with vehicle driving courses. And my strength is 4.
And last, and definitely not least, Croy.
I'm playing Tip Lagrange, a young guy. He has spent time on ships as a navigation officer, which is his primary, and he has found himself helping out in the back office in dispatch, and he also has a secondary in Helm, and his strength is 2.
Is 2. Excellent.
Is it too late to beef up?
Yes. So.
I think the answer there is hide behind everyone else.
Good call, but meat shield.
Right. Okay. Well, welcome to Brighton Precinct. Let me tell you a little bit about where you are. Not Brighton, what we're talking about. Brunton Precinct. Let me tell you a little bit about where you are. Let's talk about Earth. It's something I've not really talked about in those dark places. It's a shithole. Basically, Earth has been ravaged for decades, not just environmentally, but by outside sources. The sun is messing about, the polar cap's melted, and then the atmosphere got hit by asteroids. It was a pretty crappy few decades for Earth. It wasn't enjoying itself at all. And then the atmosphere became quite unbreathable for a while, so people weren't really living in a nuclear winter, but it wasn't nice. So what they did, because a lot of the green had been wiped out, and nearly 90% of Earth's species have been completely wiped out, both animal and vegetable. And so what they did was they built these things called lungs. And lungs are atmosphere processors the size of cities. If you can imagine the pipes of a pipe organ stretching up about 2 miles into the sky, and then like hundreds of miles wide. And basically what these things do is pump breathable atmosphere. And that is why lots of people flying out into space to bring resources back to Earth, because if they didn't, Earth would die, and so would the 12 billion people that live on the surface. Now, these 12 billion people don't live across the planet like they used to. They're now clustered in metros in major continents. So this particular metro at the south of England, also Northern Europe, is hundreds of miles wide, and the Isle of Wight is where the lung is. So the lung is pumping out as much oxygen as it can, and that's sort of spreading out across the south of England and the north of Europe. The further away you live away from the lung, the actual worse the air is. You can exist out in the wasteland. It's not a nice life. You always feel like you can't quite catch your breath because there's not enough oxygen out there, but people do exist out there, but like I say, it's not a nice life. Basically, if you've got the money, you live next to the lung. And these buildings can go up hundreds of feet, like a mile at a time, that they live in. And they get to see blue sky because the way the lung works, it pumps out the oxygen, clears out the air, and then the clouds start to form further on. It's not nice. It's not a nice existence at all on Earth, and it's very, very difficult for a lot of people. There's like 80% unemployment, everything's automated, and it's just nasty. Of course, the people that jump in to fill that gap are the corporations, basically giving everybody everything they need to keep that cycle going. Yeah, and that's Earth. Earth isn't nice at all, and it's dark and it's miserable. And where you are is very, very dark nearly all the time because the lung is chucking out all this atmosphere, all this oxygen. It creates a lot of cloud cover. There's people who have grown up in certain parts of the metro, in certain parts of the world, who have never seen the sky before, or they've never seen the sun before, or they know the sun is this really weird orange glow in the clouds. That's it, and it's
like
the rain is perpetual. Yeah, basically, it's Scotland, but on a larger level. So it's
I
just
resent that.
not. I do apologise.
Oh, it's that.
You say I was about to say it's a miserable existence, but now I'm just compounding the Scotland joke. So
Yep.
it's just not nice, and that's kind of where you guys live at the moment in Brunton Precinct, which is just to the south of London. It's not a nice place, and it basically is lots and lots of high rises. Imagine, I don't know, loads of Empire State buildings all crammed together and all networked with alleyways, with walkways and stuff. That's what Brunton's like. It's not nice at all. A lot of the workers who support the rich people out near the Lung live here, and a lot of the industries happen here as well. And every year they try to do something nice for the people. They put on parades, or they offer like free, like a day off for you, paying your bills and that sort of thing. It's just not doing enough. There's always this simmering tension, like something's about to kick off. So yeah, the precinct that you work in is always busy. Homicide rates is up for the roof. It's mainly assault-based crimes. There's lots of thievery here as well. It's just not a nice place to live. And if anybody could get out of there, and that's why a lot of people are actually going into space, because they get away from all of this. They're given a job, they're given the promise of retirement. They can sleep for 80% of the time and still get paid a massive payout. It's dangerous, but it's worth it. That's why a lot of people go for it. One more thing about the lungs is that the actual lungs they produce a genetically engineered algae, which actually helps to produce the oxygen in large quantities, and they process this. And then what's left, once the algae is used up, it's then used for foodstuffs. So pretty much 95% of what you eat every single day, even though it's processed to look like different foods, it's actually just algae, just turned into a different way. They haven't got to the Soylent Green stage yet. So they haven't got to the Charlton Heston stage yet, but... in fact, when I originally designed this, the actual food was called Heston's, and it was like this old guy's face on the can. Anyway, it's well, I might still do that. Anyway, so that's it. That's Earth. That's the planet that you live on. There's about 20 of these metros covering the entire planet's surface in different continents or on islands or wherever, all basically suffering the same sort of thing. And it's very eclectic. It's extremely mixed. There's you know, you can't say that everybody who lives there now is primarily from a certain country. Basically, if you live somewhere and you had to get to a metro fast, you just went to that metro. It's not walled either. The further you go out from the Lung, the further you go out from the city, just the worse and the lower the buildings get, until you get to the shanty towns, and then you've got the wasteland where nobody really wants to go. So, you also get the choice of a vehicle, and this is a new rule for those dark places, which I will be introducing in a future supplement. You get 2 stats for this vehicle, and they are speed and hull. Speed is basically how fast it goes, and the hull is how much damage it can take. And you get 5 points to divide up between that, and no higher. It has to have at least 1 score in one of the stats, so no one stat can be higher than 4.
Oh.
So it's completely up to you what points, how you want to spend those points. Do you want a fast vehicle that's flimsy, or do you want a slow vehicle that's tough?
4 points in speed, 1 point in hull.
Is that really?
It's a speeder bike.
Is that the consensus?
No.
I like 3-2.
Yeah. Or 2-3. Let's go 3-2.
We gotta go
It's
fast.
easy. If
We're chasing
we can get away from
criminals.
something fast enough, we don't have to
We
worry
also might be
about
getting
people
like
shooting
shot
at
at
us.
by criminals.
We shoot back. We're too fast. Bullets will miss us.
3 in speed.
You've forgotten what game you're playing.
Yeah, 3 in speed, 2 in hull, I guess.
Okay.
3 speed, 2 hull, yeah? Brilliant. Okay. The speed is basically, for every 1 point you put in speed, that's 50 kilometers an hour. So yeah, you can do 150 kilometers an hour. And also, the bonus is...
Actually,
these
4
things
and 1
fly.
sounds like a lot more fun now.
Yeah.
One wrong.
And the points in hull is how many bullets.
Yeah, one failed check from our helm officer, and we die.
You're in a wall. They're also, this is quite a large sort of van, so it's like a 6-seater, and there's enough in the back to put in a couple of perps behind a cage as well. It's quite well built, and it can also hover up to a height of 4 kilometers. So you've got yourselves a nice little air car there, or hov car as they're called in the game. That is your response vehicle. So this particular precinct, you're sort of way down near the bottom, one of the older buildings, and the way that it's been designed is to look like a 1930s sort of Art Deco style. This was all the trend about 20 years ago when he went for this Art Deco look. when it was getting back into fashion. Even the people were dressing as that kind of 1930s style. Nobody does anymore because it's completely non-functional. And if you dressed like that, meant you were rich, which made you a target. So they basically stopped dressing that way. So basically, you're working in this massive open hall with partitions between desks. It's really loud. It's really, really busy. And you guys have literally just solved the Henderson case. It's basically a missing robotic dog, which turned out to have lots of data inside it, which was basically stolen data from the Wayne Tanaka company. So you guys are already riding high. The captain's really pleased with you. The DA's really pleased with you. But by God, get into his office in 24 hours, or they'll be shit. No, sorry, I was too many American TV shows. I do apologise. So yeah, you guys are riding high. Everybody's really pleased with you. There's a few jealous faces in the office, but because you've done really, really well, this was a big score for you. But yeah, so as we start this game, you're in this open plan office. You're at your desks. You've just finished your reports, and around the corner of the partition, with his big long coat on, and he's got this like a flat cap, sort of Peaky Blinders flat cap, is your captain. And he sort of leans on the edge of the partition, forward. Well done on the job. And I've got another one for you if you're interested. This one's a corpse. You good?
Guess it'll be a bit easier to catch than that robot dog.
Well, the robot dog case, or the robo dog case, as the papers are calling it. Well, it was good work. So you've actually been asked for this job. You got a fast resolution. People involved were really, really happy. Cambridge Wallace were very happy that they got their data back. So they want you on this job if at all possible. So
How
we got a
fresh
corpse.
is the corpse?
Literally about 40 minutes.
Oh, nice. I like
Has
it.
it just been
fresh.
called in, or do we have any details from anyone on the ground?
Okay, it's been called in, and as soon as it was identified as one of the top corporate executives for Cambridge Wallace on Earth, they wanted top people on it. Now, weirdly enough, what usually happens is that Cambridge Wallace will actually assign their own security teams, but they've actually asked for public service intervention. No idea why. So you guys good for it? I don't even know why I'm
Sounds good,
asking that
Captain.
question. You're
Needs
being
more
ordered
paperwork.
to. So yeah. So get yourselves sorted, get yourselves tooled, and get down to the pool. Get your vehicle out. It's only 20 minutes away, and we've got boys on the ground who are looking after it, making sure that nobody's touching the evidence until you lot get there.
Hey, Captain.
Pascal, like
do
you've
that.
ever done paperwork.
Captain turns, he sort of tips his cap, and then turns around and then goes over to the next booth and goes, "Well done on solving the..." And he starts basically giving the same spiel again as he starts giving out another job.
Wait, they also rescued a robot dog?
It was a robot cat, but obviously dogs. Well, I prefer dogs. So there you have it. Heading down to the pool.
Let's go, team.
Car pool, not the actual pool.
Aw.
You're all issued with automatics, so you've all got a sidearm each. Just a standard pistol with 14 shots in the magazine and one in the pipe.
So 15 total?
15 total, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. I was trying to sound like I knew what I was talking about as far as guns are concerned.
Close enough.
So, I got that from Lethal Weapon. So, yeah, head down to the pool, you get into your vehicle, you head out. You're actually on the 50th floor of this building. So when you head out the pool, you're literally just heading out into traffic. And as ever, it's hammering it down with rain. There's tall neon advertisements and holographics shimmering against the rain. But it's not noisy because it's middle of the night more than anything. So you go down with your blues and twos, head for the traffic. There's not a lot of traffic up there at the moment. Just lots of drones, late workers, and courier vehicles. And then you head down, and now this body has been found on the ground level, which is unheard of. Nobody really wants to go down to ground level, but there you have it. As you head down there, the traffic sort of thins out. The air gets thicker with dust and grime. And then in the gloom down below, you see the flashing blue and red lights of a cordoned off area. And one other standard police cruiser hovering just next to it. And there's basically just put these stands up around, put some tape around it, and put a tarpaulin over what is obviously a body on the ground, as your vehicle settles neatly. Who's piloting, by the way?
Who's got helmet? I'm Hell Officer Secondary, so I guess I could.
Yeah, me and you.
Yeah.
It'll be
No,
tied
your
between
helmet-
Lucas and Tip.
I would probably cede it to Tip, considering he'll
Okay.
be better able to
Then-
navigate us there.
Yeah, I can navigate there quickly.
Don't worry, you got GPS. And thank
I don't
God.
trust that.
So the car settles down. It's like I say, it's really grimy down here. It's literally like everybody above you has just basically just chucked their shit out of a window, and it's all landed onto the ground. It's really, really grimy. There are people that live down here, amazingly enough, but you can see the remains of the old road that used to be down here. It's now just covered in rubble. The old lamps are all bent over and rusted. It's like down here. The only reason why people come down here is to make sure that the structure's sound and the towers aren't going to fall over. That's the only reason why anybody comes down here, and even they don't want to be down here. They'll just come down with a toffee hammer and go bong bong. That's fine. Let's go. That's it. So it's just horrible. And the smell when you get out, it's like cabbage and damp towels. It's just horrible.
Yeah, it smells like a cafeteria at work.
Yeah. It smells like my kitchen. Probably too much information. So yeah, you get out the vehicle, and it's like I say, it's horrible. And one of the officers sort of walks over. He's got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth, electronic one, but it glows automatically. He sort of blows up. You in for the stiff? Sort of
Yeah,
just
and if
normal-
you can keep your guys away from the evidence, that'd be great.
turns around and sort of goes, Brian, stay away from the evidence. Right, he walks over and lifts the tape for you. Is this going to take long? We should have been off shift half an hour ago.
What a shame. You'll be here for another hour at least, I'm sure.
Oh,
I've
what
just-
shit news.
So I've just secured the car. It's fine. Shouldn't be a problem.
Who wants to
Any
look at
witnesses?
Sorry, go on.
I believe the medical personnel should have a look. But with any luck, it'll be a quick one.
Yeah, I'm gonna get on a respirator and start getting my
Yep.
my kit together.
Gloves on.
And Finn, can
Hey,
you
Flo-
start looking around for anything that might,
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Finn's gonna have a look around, see if there's any like CCTV or anything that may have caught the scene or anything. Any sort of
Cameras,
security
yeah.
cameras.
There's cameras here, but it looks like they've not worked in decades. They're just hanging off the mounts, and they're just hollow shells of what they used to be. So it's just there's no surveillance down here at all.
Are there people
Um,
down
then-
here with us?
There are, you do see shadows in the alleyways, but they're not approaching. Obviously
Yeah.
most of them are probably illegal. They shouldn't be here, so they're all sort of hanging back out the shadows.
Less of a crowd to deal with.
Infinity, as you're looking around, sorry, I will address everybody by their character names. I do apologise. Finn, as you're looking around, can you make a D6 roll and add your education score, please? Your target to beat is 7
I got a 4.
total. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big wide street, but there's so much rubble down here. If there was somebody sort of walking through, this is how you're looking over at the cameras. If there was somebody going through the rubble, I mean, you've not even left a trail. It's that bad. So you can't tell if there's anybody else from down here. Does anybody else want to have a look around?
Yeah, I'll have a nose around.
I'm gonna be examining the body.
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll deal with you
I was
first.
wondering if there was
Mimor.
going to be a crowd to deal with, but they all seem to be keeping their own distance.
Yeah. Mimor, can you make a D6 roll? You've pulled back the tarpaulin, and it's not a pretty sight, but it's not something you've not seen before. Can you make a medical roll? Basically, you roll a D6, add your education score, and then add another 2 because your medical is your primary. Higher the better.
Education. Bam.
And your first roll is the magic 6. Brilliant. Right, okay, you can see 2 things for straight away. Well, 3 things actually. Number 1 is dead. And he's extremely well dressed. I mean, this guy is wearing an expensive suit. You've seen these things in Barclays. This is like $5,000 adjusted dollar suit. It's just, you don't buy this stuff to walk the dog. He is very dead. It looks like he's had his throat cut. You can see the incision running from right all the way around from jawline to jawline. It's extremely precise. This is exactly what. It's such a high roll. You're getting quite a lot of detail here. And something very sharp went very, very deep, right across the jugular, both veins, and straight into the thorax. Thorax, the throat. So that's probably what killed him. But you can also see fall damage, depressed skull, possibly broken limbs, and there's a little bit of sort of splash where he's landed. So somebody's cut his throat by looks of it, either in a window or in a vehicle, and then thrown him out the vehicle. He's fallen, God knows how far, slammed into the ground, and yeah, there we have it.
All right, so he was dumped here.
He was murdered and then dumped. By the looks of it, by the amount of blood that's on the ground, they cut his throat and then pretty much took him out of the vehicle straight away. Because he's landed, made a bit of a splash, and then he's bled out on the ground. The blood is it's been soaked up quite a lot by the dirt and boxes that are here, but yeah, there's a lot of blood. Meanwhile, everybody else, can you make a education plus a D6 roll, please? And just I just need to know if anybody rolls 7 or more.
7.
There's a 7 from Finn.
7.
Ta-da.
Nope.
Oh, I got a 7.
2. Excellent. So 2 7s. Excellent.
And they called me uneducated.
Well,
I wasn't rolling, was I?
No, not you. You were examining the body when this was happening.
Okay.
So Pascal and Finn, you're having a look around. You can see a lot of the dirt on the ground has been disturbed. Same as what your vehicle. As you've come down, your vehicle, you've got null gravity emitters, and the closer you get to the ground, it sort of blows it out like a. It's not heavy, but it blows rubble in all directions. You've got some rubble blow from the other police cruiser as well. Then about 20 meters further along down the street, you see there's another depression in the ground where everything's been blown out.
So
another vehicle has landed here very recently.
Let's go investigate. I'll try and make use of my limited security training to try and see if I can find any evidence around the scene.
Yeah.
These vehicles, are they run by Facebook?
Why?
Like, do we know which vehicles have been in the area? Do they have logs that we could look up and see who's been in the area?
Only if the person's opted in to that service.
That's why I said Facebook, because they don't do that feature.
They opted out. You've got to find it in settings. It's under spying. But basically the companies have privacy laws managed to protect themselves. But if you've opted in, then you can track somebody's vehicle.
Yeah.
Can I check whatever system we have to see if obviously that vehicle has been opted in and we have a record of who came recently?
The only 2 vehicles that have been down here in the last couple of hours is your vehicle and the other police cruiser.
God damn these people. Why don't they just agree to these things? It would save lives.
Goddamn terms and conditions. So
it's a pity all our police cruisers run on FBOS.
Seymour. His pockets. He hasn't got anything in his pockets. His ID's gone. His wallet's gone. The only way they managed to identify him was by facial scan. They got him on a profile, and he's come up as the vice president of acquisitions in Cambridge Wallace. He's an off-worlder, basically. He's probably by looks of it, looking at his record, this is his first time on Earth. But yeah, basically he's the guy that handles bringing in supplies to his teams in outer space. And now he's dead on the floor on Earth.
Well,
it looks like it could have been he could have been rolled for his credit or something, but I don't know.
Mm. The only thing you do find that tucked in his pocket is a crumpled flyer, and it's for a carnival. Every year they put on a bit of a festival for people to get together and pretend to be happy. It's on one of the main bridges, so they're literally this main bridge is absolutely huge. It's like the bridge, like the Hudson Bridge, is it in New York? And
Do I know how far away that is from where this location is? Can I give like
it's
an
only about 3
estimate
miles.
time?
Yeah, you look
Okay,
down,
yeah.
you can actually see it. Actually, you look down because all these buildings are the same in uniform, and you look down this like giant trench, and you see an X-wing. Now you look down, you see this massive giant trench in the distance. You can see flashing lights, and every now and then there's like a holographic explosion of a holo firework. Obviously, that's where the festival's kicking off. So only within, like I say, it's only about 3 miles away or 3 kilometers away. On the back of this crumpled note, you see the words Edward. And then it's got 20 and then the 2.00, so 8 o'clock basically.
That's
All
interesting.
right.
What time is
Okay,
it
I'll
now?
tell the other guys about it.
It's 7:15.
So if
AM?
we clear the scene, there might be still time to follow that up before the appointment. Assuming you're 45 minutes before. Could I search the second landing site?
There's nothing here. Like I said, the vehicle
Nothing
touched
else.
down, but all you can see is the depression where the vehicle's null gravity emitters just blew all the trash and everything away.
Okay,
Whatever
they
it
may have
was,
just
it was a
stopped to
large
check he
vehicle.
was dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
A large
It
vehicle.
was a large vehicle, yeah.
Can we look up where he was staying, since we know who he is? Was
Yes.
he probably wasn't from Earth? Maybe he was staying in a hotel, or
He was staying in the Hinton. It's one of the big chains, big executive chains on the coast, within sight of the Lung, actually. So obviously he was staying in a lovely place, probably on top of the building, getting some lovely. He was actually staying in the penthouse suite, so obviously getting lots of fresh air.
I think we should go there and just check out the penthouse
for a couple of days. It's yeah, he's only been on Earth for about a day. He's literally, by looks of his travel record, he actually arrived that morning.
Can I look up? Like, look up, literally, just look up.
Yeah.
Is there anything unusual about the state of the buildings, or any overhangs, or bridges, or passes, or anything that isn't kind of?
There's no pathways, no bridges, there's no windows, balconies, nothing. Unless he took a running jump out of a window with a gliding suit on to get this far out into the road. No, he wouldn't have fallen from anything directly above him.
What do you reckon then? Think he was just dumped here?
Oh, he was killed in whatever vehicle brought him here and then dumped right after. He was staying at the Hinton, though. You want to check that out?
Nice place.
Might have a fruit basket.
$7,500 a night.
Oh, there's no fruit. Never mind.
Fudge basket. Hey. Well, where do you want to go now, guys? Get you driving. If you want to leave.
All right, let me just pack him up. We'll take him with us.
If you had this meeting at the carnival, perhaps we can find Edward or someone who saw it happen. That's more of a lead than he came in a vehicle.
So you've got the carnival and you've got the hotel.
Great. Carnival. Well, that's just up the road. We can get there in no time.
Yep. Is that a consensus?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
What, Dunham? Are we really taking this corpse? Can we not just get the? We not get the purple jumpers over there to take it.
Yeah, one of the officers walks over and says, "We've got a vacuum bag in the vehicle. We can get him sealed and get a meat wagon out here in 20 minutes. So I mean, you
Okay,
can leave him
great.
here. Yeah. We'll make. We've taken all the pictures and everything. So no doubt Cambridge Wallace will ask for him back at some point. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So you're heading to the carnival, yeah?
Yep.
You all pile into the vehicle. Engine powers up. You lift off slowly. The officers sort of put their hands up. You sort of blow rubbish in their direction as they're trying to get him into this vacuum bag. You pick up. You sort of go off and go over into the gloom. And as you approach this festival, the closer you get, the more fun it looks. Lots of different colours. Holographic fireworks going off all over the place. Real fireworks going off all over the place, which is a bit of a surprise. And if you imagine just your normal everyday carnival, but with a lot more flashing lights and neon, if you can actually imagine such a thing, it's basically that across the bridge. Now the bridge itself is probably about half a kilometre up, and it spans two of the largest buildings here. But it is the size, and it's actually made to look like the Hudson River Bridge. And so it's all the suspension. It's covered in lights. There's even buildings on it as well where people are elected to live there. At one end of it, it used to be a slum area where people used to, like a shanty town, come sort of tents and cardboard, what have you. But that's been sort of moved out now, and it's become a little bit more not upper class, probably but just a little bit cleaner. And people are more willing to come here, maybe bring the families if they've got a license. And it's just, it looks pretty. You've got old-fashioned carnival tents there. You've got a big wheel in one corner, which is basically just a wheel, and it's big. And instead of it being on the wheel, they're actually attached to miniature sort of gravimeters and sort of going around. And every now and then they'll zip off, so that you can hear people shouting and screaming because they weren't expecting it to happen. It's like, oh, this is weird, and it's just, it looks like quite a lot of fun. There's a heavy police presence, as there always is at these things. And by the looks of it, as you're touching down at the end of the bridge, the police are actually taking away 3 or 4 people. Look like they've been a bit of a punch-up. Shirts are off, of course. Handcuffs, well, they're zip-tied behind their backs. And then you touch down. There's a lot of people there. It's absolutely packed. There's music playing, lots of different things, sort of more modern sort of electronic music, sort of old classics, like Metallica 2. And then your normal sort of carnival music, strange organs and weird sounds, different games going on. It seems to be in full swing, and people are enjoying themselves with the free food, the free algae, that is, and free alcohol.
Colored algae for the
yes, well, with what do you call it? When they put in the false taste. So you think you're eating chicken, and it even looks like chicken. But it's just algae, with loads of vitamins and all sorts of steroids and everything pumped into it to keep you happy.
Are there any cameras?
There's lots of cameras here, all over. Lots of small hovering drones with cameras sort of going over. Police owned, of course. There's a couple of private security firms there as well, which have obviously been hired to make up the numbers. But yeah, there's plenty of cameras. You exit the vehicle. Where would you want to head first?
Is there a security trailer or something set up that we can go?
There is. It's basically just like an articulated lorry, which is pulled up, and the steps leading up to it. You see there's big antennae and it's cameras and all sorts of things sticking out the top. And you see there's officers milling around and drinking coffee and tea, real tea. And it's yeah. So yeah, I said it. So it seems busy, of course. There's people being processed there outside very quickly. It's literally just fingers, off you go.
Can we take our scan of his face and maybe plug it into their computer and do a little?
Sure, shouldn't be a problem at all. You could speed that up with somebody in engineering. Yep.
Yeah, get on that. Whatever.
I'll do it.
Yeah, no, I'll have a look. Let's see.
No worries. So you plug it in. The image gets downloaded onto the system. Starts running it through the camera system. If you want to roll a d6, add your education score and add your 2 for engineering.
Education. A 6.
Okay. It starts running through the cycle, and you do get a partial. It's not exact, but you can't quite tell. It's a little bit blurry. But by the looks of it, there's a tent just over. It's like a fortune teller's tent next to the dodgems. Well, they're not dodgems. People just run into each other. I don't even know why they call it dodgems. You're just going to ram each other. But anyway, it's right next to there, and it's yeah, and you can see it looks like he's just coming out of it. And the date stamp is probably the time stamp is about 2 hours ago. 100%
Hey.
sure.
Looks like I've got a hit, guys.
All right. Where are we going?
Does it give a location and details of that person?
All it does is just match him to the image that you've got.
Let's have a look.
Here.
Yeah.
It's not groundbreaking.
It's not perfect. Obviously, the camera was well back when it happened, and he's very in the far distance, and he's literally just getting head and shoulders shot. The hairstyle looks similar. The features do look similar, and it does look like he's holding on to his collar a little bit, like he's trying not to be seen.
Do we recognise the location? Can I identify that from the picture if I zoom out?
Absolutely. I'll see what you mean now. I do apologise. The location. It's a fortune teller, and it's right next to the dodgems, so you can actually see it from where you're standing. You've got the big wheel, the big fake wheel, and just to the bottom of it, you've got a couple of fairground rides, and then there's the fortune tellers right there. And the fortune teller, the sign over the fortune teller says Edwards.
Peace.
All right, well, that's something at least.
So is somebody going to cross their palm with silver?
Say again.
All right. Come on, let's go.
Okay. You head over. The crowds are quite thick, quite busy. All you can smell in the air is alcohol and sugar. And then a little bit of ozone and carbon from the exploding fireworks. You make your way through. The music's a little bit deafening now. People screaming on the rides and all sorts of things. Lasers going off into the sky. People in the bedroom windows with megaphones shouting, "Keep the noise down." And you get over to the tent, and somebody's coming out of it. A young couple, looking extremely happy, looking at a piece of paper, a flyer, which is exactly the same flyer that you found, Mimor, on the body, and they're sort of looking at it and smiling, and then sort of head off like they've been given good news. Who wants to go in?
Lucas, want to get your fortune told?
I mean, I think I'd be better served out here where I can see the back, but if nobody else wants to go in there, I'll just sort of sigh and walk into the tent.
Anyone else? Or just Lucas?
I'll go in with Lucas.
Yep. Okay. Both enter, and behind a stand with a large, sort of football-sized crystal ball is a very aged-looking man. Wisps of white, sort of long white moustache and a bit of a beard. Longish hair, really white, pale skin. He's got like a trilby on, fingerless gloves, and a long coat. He's obviously playing the part of being an old, wizened, sort of tramp kind of character. As you go walking in, he sort of turns around and he sees you both, and he goes, "Ah, another couple. Here for your fortunes."
Not a couple.
Sorry?
No, he's got a little too much equipment down there, if you know what I mean, for me.
That's a little bit disconcerting, and probably more information than I need to know. But I am more than willing to give you your fortune at no extra cost.
I'll just make sure my sidearm is still concealed.
Yes, please. Is that a gun in your pocket?
Since you're drawing attention to it.
I was about to say, yeah, what the hell? So, what can I do for you? Do you want to know your future, your past? Do you want to know your fortune? Do you want to know what awaits you in the deepest, darkest regions of space?
My past.
Your past? Indeed. Puts his hand out.
I will hand over an acceptable amount of currency. I don't know how much this costs.
It's got on the corner there minimum 10, minimum spend 10.
Oh, that's helpful.
So you give him 10
give him
credits
10.
or $10. He sort of takes it, very quickly counts it. Yeah, I'll do. Sort of leans over and he sort of puts his hands over around the globe. You see his left foot move slightly underneath the table. It's like this table sort of draped in a long cloth which is covered in stars and moons and stuff. As you see his leg going, like he's pumping up a bed, and then all this mist starts coming into the globe. Sort of, he's got his hands all over it, and he's sort of staring into it, and he smiles. And he sort of glances down, like there's something in front of him. He looks up again. Oh, this might take some time. Please wait. Meanwhile, outside, everybody's sort of hanging around. What are the rest of you doing?
Watching, looking, seeing if anybody looks like they've got eyes on this place.
Gotcha. I'm going to need you then. Lloyd, can you make a education roll plus your liaison score, please? Everybody else makes just education rolls.
Education.
D6 plus your education score.
There's a lot of education on this.
Oh, yes.
6!
6.
It's a 6. Pascal? It's a 5.
5.
Gotcha. The crowds are really thick. Pascal, just to your right, you do hear like a mobile communicator go off. And somebody very tiredly sort of lifts it up and puts it to his ear, and he's kind of listening to something, and he sort of looks a little bit confused. Finn, you see that same couple have sort of stopped, and the one sort of lads is then looking a little bit confused at the flyer, and he's sort of talking to the girl, and she looks like she's starting to get upset. I don't quite understand why, but he's pointing at the bottom. And then she sort of waves her hands as if she doesn't want to hear it. Tip, the crowds are getting really oppressive. There's more people coming in. You see that a fight is broken out just across the way in front of the shooting range. As people are getting angry and upset, and you hear the whoop whoop. Literally, the police are walking around. They've got these long staffs, sort of like cattle prods, and on the end they've got the flashing red and blue. So they're walking through the crowd with that flashing, so people move out of their way, and they're heading over to where the trouble's kicking off again. But you don't notice anything other than that. Inside the tent, the man sort of looks up. I see many things. Then he points at you, Lucas. You're a police officer. Yes?
Yes.
And so are you. Points over at you, Dunham.
Yes. And
So
we're
why are
actually
you
here.
here?
We're here for your past. And I show him my scanner.
Yeah.
Have you seen this guy tonight?
Sort of looks, he sort of furrows his brow, and he sort of lowers his hands until they're out of sight just in front of him. And you hear a beep. Outside, Pascal, that gentleman who's having the conversation on the phone, he sees he's just listening now, then he sees his eyes widen like he's shocked, and he turns around, he looks at Edward's tent, quickly sort of drops his phone into a corner pocket, his hand goes inside his jacket, and he starts heading straight over towards the tent.
I'll move to. How far away? How is it? Are we between him and the tent?
You can get between him and the tent.
Yeah.
I won't ask you to make a roll. It's quite simple. But you
Yeah.
can literally step in front of him.
Yeah. You bit of a rush there, buddy?
He sort of stops. He sort of, excuse me, please. And he starts to walk around you, obviously not realising who or what you are.
Yeah. Sorry, with the police. Can you please stop while I'm talking to you?
He sort of does stop when he sort of turns and faces you. You see his hand is still inside his jacket. And he slowly takes his hand out, and it's empty, and he sort of flexes his fingers. Is there a problem, officer?
I was wondering if there was about to be. I just saw your reaction, and you're heading to that tent over there.
I just work security for the tent, so I'm just making sure that there's nothing untoward is happening in there. I've got credentials. He starts reaching into his jacket again. Meanwhile, inside the tent, he sort of steps back. I've never seen him before in my life. He steps back from the table, and immediately the mist inside the globe disappears.
I'll just...
Yeah, you sure you never seen him? Because he had a flyer from here, and I take out the flyer and I show him. So what's 2,000 hours?
That's about 7 minutes. I don't know what you're talking about. I've never met him. I don't know anybody from Cambridge Wallace.
We did
How'd you know he
say-
was from Cambridge Wallace?
Oh, shit the bed. Meanwhile, outside, he reaches into his jacket. Is there anything you want to do?
I'm gonna. Do we have like a shoulder radio? I guess. Like I think we need to secure Edwards.
Yep.
I think we have a trouble.
Gotcha. Finn and Lucas, you get that about securing Edwards?
Yep.
He pulls out an ID card, and you see that he's a private security firm.
So who hired you? Your PI. Well, private security.
He points over at the tent. Edwards. He
Uh,
hires me in
oh,
case
Radio
people
3.
don't like the fortune they've been told.
Yeah. I'll ask Edwards. Are you expecting a security guard? Well.
Who are you radioing? Sorry.
So Radio 3 to the guys in the tent. Just be like,
Okay.
is Edwards expecting a security guard?
You have security on this tent?
Yeah, outside I hired a private firm just in case I get problems like I've got now.
So when two police officers walk in and you identify them as police officers, you call in your private security?
Well, we can't be too careful. There's all sorts of people masquerading. Look, can I ask what this is about?
I think we were very clear with looking for information about this man that you clearly knew.
The man with the bloody smile?
So he came in here looking for a fortune. I read him his fortune. He was early. I gave him his fortune and he left. That was it. He paid over the top money and he left, and that was it.
What was his fortune?
He was going to have good luck. It was his first time on Earth. He'd never experienced anything like this before. I said he was going to have good luck and fortune in the future. That's what he does next will determine the fate of many, many people. Look,
Yeah.
I've literally just got an app on my mobile here, and it just spews out shit. Okay, Zoltar.com. All right, I'm literally just staring at it, and it gives me this crap, and I just tell people what I want to hear. Like a couple of minutes ago, I told them exactly what they wanted to hear, apart from the bit at the end where it was talked about divorce. But it's just like it's all there. It's nothing. It's a scam. Okay, people just come here for a bit of fun. They don't take it seriously, and I certainly don't cut people's throats for it.
You've come here for a bit of fun. Why did he have an appointment? Your name and the time. You said he was early for it.
It just he wanted to make time to come and see me. That's all. In case I've got busy, I do take appointments sometimes.
Which didn't seem very busy when
Sometimes.
we came in here. 7 minutes before your apparent appointment.
Sorry, am I under arrest? Am I a suspect here?
Do
Because
you
I'll
need
tell
to
you
be?
something, and that's when his head explodes. There's a shot of a report. The side of the actual tent rips open. Whatever it is hits him on the back of the neck, and then literally just the back of his head literally just explodes all over his globe and all over the wall. The report of the sound of the shot is loud, and I mean really loud. And in fact, people
Can I-
outside start screaming.
Can I see or hear anything more distinct from it outside?
Well, it's literally right behind you. There's fireworks going off, so you get a little bit less. So it's a little bit disorientating. But yeah, it's really loud. It sounded like it was going off right next to your ears. The security guard himself, his reflex is to pull his pistol out, and he hasn't got a pistol. He's got this fucking hand cannon, which he sort of pulls out. It's obviously too big. He has to hold it with two hands, and he sort of backs off, sort of panicking. Obviously, he's shit at his
Where
job.
that come from? Yeah.
Yeah, and
And I'll find cover
yeah.
and try and see if I can figure out where the shot came from.
Gotcha. What's everybody else doing?
Security.
I hit the deck as soon as the shot went off.
Yeah.
I'll just...
I drop to my knee and look at the direction the shot
Yep.
sound came from.
It's well, you can see where the shots come from. It's just to the right, and it's because there's a big hole in the tent. I mean, a big.
We heard it
hole.
outside as well, so
Yeah, and
we
it's quite close.
Yeah, I'm looking at the other guys like, shots fired. Let's go.
And I draw.
There's people screaming and heading in lots of different directions. People diving on the floor. The cops over by the trailer have all spilt the coffees. It's pandemonium. So
look for the one person who isn't panicking.
Yeah.
Well, what I'll need for everybody outside again, I'm going to ask you to make D6 plus education rolls.
Wishing I had done better on my education decision.
Could I add
7.
security to mine?
Yes, stay in school, kids.
This
Don't
Don't
entire
become a
game is-
cop. Stay in school.
Yeah. Could I bring my security training into
Oh,
this?
8. I got 8.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, 8.
7.
Fantastic. Okay. Who got that first one? So Tip, you see him first, and I'll say, as you turn, Tip, you see that somebody just to the right, and everybody else has hit the deck, and whoever it is, dressed in black, got a hood on, sort of with his up over his head like this, and he's sort of turned, and he's obviously putting something inside a bag, and they're running hell for leather towards the end.
Finn's going
the
after
edge
him.
Of the Finn's. Yeah, brilliant.
Running to.
D6 plus agility rolls, please. Finn, because you declared first, I'll have you up ahead. So,
5.
D6 plus agility. 5.
5.
Let me just roll for this guy.
He trips up.
Okay, everybody roll 5.
5.
Ooh.
Okay, so he is belting it across the ground, really, really fast, and you're keeping up with him, but you're not gaining on him as he's heading towards the edge of the bridge by the looks of things. He sort of very quickly glances over his shoulder, sees you guys following him, and as he gets to the edge of the bridge, he turns around, and by the looks of it, he's got a sort of a pump action. He sort of spins round, and what are you going to do? Have you drawn your weapons?
Yeah, I would have had my handgun ready.
No, I've grabbed an object on the way and I'm throwing it at him.
Right, you know the grab a duck games, yeah. If you go past that, there's all these big thick plastic ducks.
I'm looking for like a brick, but yeah.
Absolutely. To be fair,
ducks
that's
are
or
heavy,
there's a coconut shot. It's completely up to you. They're not real coconuts.
Yeah, coconut. We'll go with the coconut.
You're going to go for it. Now he's at the edge of the bridge. He's literally standing by the railing. So it's got all fences. By the looks of it, he's cut a hole. Somebody's cut a hole in the fence to come through the fence up the side of the bridge. So as you go running towards him, you grab hold of this coconut shy ball. Weird science fiction, eh? And you're going to actually fling it at him. So you're going to make an agility roll. Plus your D6, and at this range, with all the pandemonium, the target number to hit is 7. D6 plus your agility.
5.
Just misses. It goes flying past. And
It's a random
disappears.
person.
Yeah.
Do I get a prize?
It goes off and over the bridge. This guy figure turns around. He points because you threw the ball. He points the shotgun directly at you.
Could I try to shoot it out of his
He only
hand?
rolled a 3. You can try. It's going to be a difficulty 8 to hit.
All loving coconuts. Let's go down to the circus.
9.
9 he hits. Oh my lord! Using an automatic pistol, which is a D3 damage. Sorry, not D3. What am I talking about? So roll a D6, and the die cap is 3.
2.
And okay, you shoot him. You shoot in the shotgun just as he's about to shoot at Finn. To be honest, you would have missed anyway, but you weren't to know that, you little hero. So you go running forward. You bring up the pistol. You pull off a single shot. It smacks it straight into the shotgun. Roll a D6. Don't roll a 1. My favourite saying. Fine. It doesn't set anything off. It doesn't do any damage, but it does destroy. Does 1 point of damage to him as well. You see his hand snap back to his cuffs smouldering. And the shotgun's just completely ruined. It drops down to the ground.
I'm going to take this advantage to bull rush him.
Yeah, give it up, punk. It's all over.
It's
coming
going to
with
be an
us.
opposed. It's going to be an opposed agility roll. So
Dead or alive.
make an agility roll, and you've got to beat. Got to beat 2. I think you'll be all right.
Yeah. I've been watching old
I got a
sci-fi cop
7!
movies.
So, bombing forward. Now remember, I did say he cut a hole in the fence at the side of the bridge.
Mm.
So you go flying forward, you bull rush him, and I need you to roll a d6. And please don't roll a 1.
No.
Just a straight D6.
Don't roll a 1.
Please roll a 1.
A 2!
You bounce off the part of the fence which isn't hold. He basically he's slamming up against the fence. He goes flying back. You're going to do 1 point of damage to him. Let me just make a note of that. He's already taken a point of damage from the shot, but he's still going. Basically he tries to take a swing. Sort of as you've got your arms around him, he's literally trying to thump you on the back. So another opponent.
As he does. Yep. Go on.
Pip is running up with Finn,
Make another agility.
so Pip's there as well.
Agility.
Could I try and liaise with him? Or, like, intimidate him down to just be like,
I
"Stop
got a
fighting.
9.
There's
Liaise
literally 3
with
of us and one of you."
extreme predators. Yeah. Okay. It's up to you, Finn. You've beat him again quite well, actually. So you've either fended him off or you've actually smacked him back and done him some more damage. It's up to you.
No, I'm aiming to get him grappled and attempt, arrest him, sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, you rolled 3 times more than what he's rolled, so yeah, you have no trouble doing that. You hook your arms around his back, around his neck, and literally body slam him onto the ground. And he's there. Sort of struggling.
Let's get him to the van. Somewhere secure we can.
It's all turned
have a
up
word
now.
with him.
Finally,
Look him
with
down.
rifles and shotguns and bloody rocket launchers, and everybody's sort of shouting at each other as they all come sort of running over. Nicely done, guys.
Wait, how come we don't get standish rocket launchers? I think we need a complaint.
Oh, they're it's okay. They're beanbags. They're rubber
Oh.
rockets. So
mind.
Nerf
so yeah,
launchers.
yeah, oh yeah. So yeah, you get into his feet. He's still conscious and he's still struggling, and he's mumbling something under his breath, and it sounds like, oh, well, I'm going to have to ask you to make another education roll. La la la.
Or
It's weird. You don't know what he's saying. You've never heard you've heard a lot of languages throughout your lifetime, especially living in such a place, a cosmopolitan place such as there. 9. You recognise it. It's Latin. Nobody's spoken
What?
Latin in better part of 3,000 years.
I did this. This is a long time. What's he speaking this for? He's speaking Latin.
is he
I haven't
resisting? Like, is he trying to break free?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Is it
Finn's just
like
gonna
defensive
smack
focus?
him in the back of the head then.
Some sort of religious nut. Do you think?
That or
Push him in
like
the
the toughs upstairs have been fucking doing the history.
You punch him in the back of the head, and that knocks him unconscious.
Glad you didn't have to
Now
roll
he's
that.
unconscious and not struggling. I'm gonna quickly check his pockets for whatever it was that he was trying to hide.
Do I understand
his-
what
under
he
his
was
clothes.
saying, or did I just recognise it?
You just recognised it. You don't understand what he was
No.
saying. You kept hearing Casa though. It sounded familiar. What he was trying to hide in his jacket, sorry, it was the shotgun. It's just a small pump action street
All right.
sweeper. So, but yeah, which is now lying in pieces on the floor with the shells all buckled and knackered. Because Pascal made a pretty cool shot. So yeah, he's lying unconscious on the floor. The police, like I said, you're having to show your IDs to people. Back in the tent, with Dunham and Lucas. Yeah, Edward's dead. Most of the back of his head's missing. I'm going to have to ask you both to make a pressure roll, please. So roll a d6 and add your pressure bonus to the roll. The target number is 10.
I don't know what my pressure bonus is.
Add your strength to education,
Okay.
and that's your pressure bonus.
Oh, I can't add that much.
How much is it?
My drop down doesn't go that high. Woo. It's
Well, what are you?
Roll 1d6 plus 5.
Yeah.
Slash roll 1d6 plus 5.
Okay, so wait. Here's a d6. And then add a 5. 7.
7. Sadly, you both get a pressure point. That was quite horrific, and it was shocking, and we just weren't expecting it. well, nobody expects to get shot in the back of the head by the Spanish Inquisition. So he's extremely dead, and bits of him are all over the. I mean, this gun is obviously by the looks of the actual wound, it was a solid slug, and these things aren't designed to tickle you. If this had hit him in the neck, it would have blown his head clean off. So, yeah, he's very, very dead.
Okay. We're gonna be making sure no one's trying to enter the tent. So, like, I'm right outside the tent.
Yep.
And if there happens to be maybe a candied apple stand next to it,
get your sugar levels back up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Somebody brings over a candy apple. You look like you could use this. It's just algae. So it's so that's quite an eventful evening.
I'll go up the tent, you find the algae floss.
Very dead on the ground.
okay, I'm gonna radio Tip and ask if they've apprehended the suspect.
Yeah, we got him. You'd have seen it. It was a bit of a takedown. This guy was wanting to go through the bridge. Hang on, I'm just going to have a look through to see what he was jumping onto. And I gingerly looked through the hole in the fence to see what's down there.
You see a hovering vehicle. It's basically just sat there with the, what do you call it, the sunroof open, and it's been moored to the side of the bridge, and there's nobody in there by the looks of things.
Guys, we've got a vehicle that needs secured. How far down is it?
You could step off the bridge onto the roof of the vehicle.
So in the radio, I'm just gonna check out this vehicle. Over.
All right, we'll check it for blood, because if our Vic got killed in the vehicle, it's gonna have a lot of blood in there.
If I glance over to look at it, does it look the right size for the landing point?
Oh yes, this is a very large vehicle. It's a 10-seater. It's very long, very wide. So yeah, this is more than big enough.
Yeah. So I step over carefully onto the roof. Do I need to make a roll for that, or is it easy done?
Yes. As long as you don't horribly fluff it, then yeah, make a roll.
Is that an agility one? Is it?
So yes, because you are literally stepping like half a meter. Roll a 1.
9.
No, you're fine. You do a little backflip and land on your feet. There's all these people there with scorecards. 9. So yeah, you step out onto the top of the roof. It's no problem at all. And the actual sunroof itself is huge. And there's a little ladder on it. That's how big the vehicle is. You climb down, and it's a big.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
There's nobody in it. I'm checking for like.
No, there's nobody in it.
Yeah, that's cool. So I can see that, and I jump in safely. Yep, cool. Then want to get jumped.
Okay. You go down, you go inside, and yeah, it's one of those ones with the sliding doors at the sides, like a big van, and there's all sort of the inside's been made out so it looks like there's seating up the side, so we can sit there comfortably. It's got a lovely single-seat cockpit as well. It's quite a new vehicle. And there, where the door slides open on the floor and up the wall, is a splash of blood.
I relay all that information on the radio to everybody.
All right, we're gonna head over to you and analyze the blood.
Gotcha.
Can I check
There's
the
an app for
navigation?
everything.
Can I check the navigation system to see where it was programmed into, or if it was programmed into auto drive anywhere?
By the looks of it, it's not only been the navigation system's been completely disconnected. The GPS system's been taken out, and there's no registry system on this vessel. It's literally just sit down and drive. The only time you've ever come across that in your professional life as a cop is when people want to drive vehicles and don't want to be found.
Yeah, and again, I'm relaying all this information to the team on the radio.
In fact, the registration of this vehicle is fake as well. If you're going to go the whole thing.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
Finn's going to take the unconscious guy back to our vehicle, and he's going to secure him.
Gotcha. Yeah, in the back you've got these poles. Not high enough to dance on, but yeah, you can basically just put the cuffs on him and keep him there. Stick £5 notes in his belt. No, you can literally just hook him to the pole and leave him there. It's going to be a little while before he comes round.
I am going to stay near the vehicle though. I'm not going to let anyone else come near.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You do notice one thing on his neck, just here, is a tattoo which says HOE.
He's a hoe.
Oh yeah, he's got longish hair, so he looks like it's not huge, but enough that if you push his hair back, yeah, you'll notice it.
I'm gonna take a picture of it, and do I have sort of like a team back at the head office? I can send it to and be like, can you see if you've got this on the records? Is there any gang signs or anything?
Yep, you send it back. They sort of receive the image. Yeah, we got it, boss. We'll run it through the analyzer. We'll come back to you in 20 minutes. I have no idea why I did that accent, but that's what he's going to do. So, yeah, he runs it for the system, and he'll come back to you in a bit.
I also ping it to everyone else here and be like, and just put possible lead.
Yep. Okay.
All right, and I say, Lucas, let's get back to the van, and we hand over to the plainclothes guys,
The regulars.
on the handling the carnival, the body.
I
Yeah,
suspect we're the plainclothes guys, and they're the ones carrying
we're the
big poles with sirens.
The
opposite of plainclothes.
That security officer you were talking to, he's standing at the doorway to Edwards looking in and goes, "Oh, bollocks, there goes my bonus." So it's, the police come along and cordon the whole place off, moving the crowds back, sort of setting up a perimeter and what have you. Inside the van, there's a beeping noise from the control console. It's very faint. We could...
Is it getting quicker?
Right, okay.
Numbers counting down.
Someone got an SMS.
What's and I take a look at it. Is anybody else with me by this point? Has anybody else reached me?
Has anybody else got into the vehicle? You'll have to make an agility roll to get into it, and that could be fun. In fact, to be honest with you, the actual controls aren't locked. So if you want to unhook it and fly it back over and land it safely, then
that's what. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. Bam. So I shouldn't have suggested that. So yeah, you swing it over and land it on the road. It's my pleasure. I'm a forgiving GM. And,
I'm looking at this. I'm looking and checking over the computer console. And do I know if any of my team are particularly well adept at computers, or will I rely on my navigation skills? I think to myself.
Literally no one. I can do security.
If only we had some sort of engineer.
I say on the. I say, Walters, this one's for you, pal.
All right, I'm bringing it over. I'm near the patrol car.
Bring the control. I know where it's easier for me. Right, get in, guys. We're going for a ride.
Yep. Into the crime scene. So everybody gets in. You fly over, land it next to the vehicle, and as you're going over, Finn, you get the beat back from your boys back at the precinct.
Yep.
Hey, boss.
Hey.
Yeah, we got a hit on that. HOE, House of Earth. Not a gang, it's not a criminal gang, it's a movement. From what we understand, they're quite recent, and their tagline is "Afraid of the Dark." Weird. Apparently, these guys believe there's something out there in the depths of space beyond our reckoning and understanding, and that we should not be out there. They're doing everything that they can to stop the big companies from exploring any further, in case they wake whatever it is up. So, you want to go kookball or you want to go oddball?
Give me a list of all the people that we have connected to this group in the area.
Only got 3, amazingly. Only ones that have been identified. We've got one who's just a street cleaner. We've got another one who apparently reads fortunes. And another one who turned up dead. 5 hours ago.
All right. Well, I'm guessing this. Well, I'm guessing this is the fortune cleaner that's just died. So, give us the street cleaner. Give us his address. We'll go check him out quickly.
No known address. Always on the move. By the looks of it, I can send you a picture over.
Do and then send an all points out, will you?
Absolutely. Send the picture over, and it's the one that you've got tied in the back of your car.
Hi. Never mind about the APB. We got it.
Oh, it's too late now. I put the APB out. I've not done that in weeks. Don't ruin my fun.
All right. We'll just tell everyone in an hour that we got it.
I'll just have a bit of fun. APB, not really. So, yeah.
Does this organization have a leader that we have on record, or is he unknown?
They've put out a manifesto and they've put out some threats about blowing up ships heading up from Earth. Basically, they operate off of Earth and they keep themselves very, very, very secret. The last report that there was is that they were making headway to acquiring materials and information which would help them in their cause.
Any headquarters?
Nope, nothing known. These are just F-mails and communications which they've sent to high-ranking officials and lots of different corporations. They've never been taken seriously, well, until now, of course.
Any information that comes in now for House of Earth, make sure it's diverted through us, please.
You'll be the first to know, boss.
I'll then message that through to our own radio and just.
Yeah, at this point, you hear a vehicle landing next to you.
Yep. Noise is just getting irritating now. It's irritating me, and I'm the one doing it. So
all right, let's have a look at what you've broke.
I'll hop out and take Finn's place watching the prisoner.
Okay, so make an engineering roll then, Finn. D6 plus education plus your engineering.
10.
Excellent. Tucked just underneath the dashboard is a small octagonal box with a flashing red light on it. And take it out, you recognise it straight away. It's a tracking device. But basically, it's not a tracking device designed to be followed. It's a tracking device to guide something else in. So if you put it down, it's basically used by drop shuttles on other planets and on asteroids. If you've landed, you found a good landing spot. You pop this tracking device down, only small, and it sends out a very tight signal, and it guides other probes and ships in, so they know where to land without any fuss. And that's exactly.
Do I know if it's active and it's calling something in?
Now, it's actively sending out a signal and calling something in.
Okay. All right, guys. We may have a show coming here. This thing's signaling to something to bring it in. I don't know what.
Well, let's see if this guy knows, and I'm gonna take out some kind of smelling salt stuff and.
Yeah, while she's doing that, can I mess with this box and see if I can reverse it?
These are designed to withstand all kinds of things: earth tremors, explosions, radiation. Because they're designed for deep space use. Then this is a Cambridge Wallace device. You could chop this from orbit onto a concrete ground, and it'd bounce. And
they have a serial number then.
It's designed to be resilient. No, that's been removed by laser. By looks of things on the underside of it.
Is there a clear power cable going into it?
No, it's self-contained. Its power cell is actually inside it. Literally magnetically clamped on the underside, and when you pull it out, it's in your hand.
Do we have a Faraday cage?
I'm afraid not.
God damn it, Tesla!
I've got
a cat called Schrodinger. I know what you want from me.
Damn it.
Well,
I'm calling in for backup right now. I'm calling in backup.
Tip's right behind you as well, and he's listening to you while you're talking through all this aloud, so that he hears what you're saying. And Tip's like, "Well, look, this guy been hired as an assassin, and somebody now wants him dead. I think we should get this vehicle the fuck out of here pretty quickly, because if there's something coming down, maybe they just wanted this guy quiet and silent, and we're sitting where he would be. Okay. I don't fancy the chances."
I agree. And Finn's going to grab the controls. He's going to set them to automatically just send this thing up into the sky, and he's going to jump out.
He's going to jump out, yeah?
Yeah, so he's going to quickly put the autopilot on and then jump out.
Yep.
Tip's already out at that point. He was saying that as he
The
was
tracking
walking
device
out.
inside it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, let's just clarify that you're leaving the
It's on the
tracking
safe.
beacon in
We're
the house.
leaving the tracking device on the vehicle. I'm sending it off into orbit.
Yeah. I was being
Send the vehicle off and hold the box in your hand.
Oh wait, damn it!
Hold this, I'll be right back. Okay, roll a d6. Add your education and add your engineering skill, and please, for the love of God, roll high.
How much education
got a
does one need to
10!
put a brick on a pal?
Wow.
Brilliant.
I got a 10 again.
You
Not broke.
hit the auto programming. Like I say, this vehicle's completely unlocked. So yeah, you can hit the auto programming, and you basically just hit it onto ascent. You can't program where the thing's going to go. Like I say, all those controls have been taken out. But basically, if you put the stick into go up, and then hit the accelerator and jump out, it's just going to go up. That's what these things do.
Half a brick.
You do that, it goes up, and in the distance, you can hear it going. Beep, 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 beep. It disappears up into the clouds. Then we take a break because it is 20 to 11. And if we can have 10 minutes, and then we shall continue afterwards, if that's okay with you
I
guys.
wonder where we're going next.
Nice
Yeah.
one.
I have my suspicions.
Yep. Yeah, so we'll be back in 10 minutes, guys. So grab yourselves a drink, go get yourselves refreshed. Do not put tea in a cup and with a straw, or go to your local
Blasphemy.
McDonald's to get a tea.
Blasphemy.
Don't do things like that. Come on, let's have standards, chat.
No,
Jeez.
product placement, thank you.
Yeah, you also
Well,
can't
tea in a
drink
cup
out
with
of
straw
a
sounds
cup
like a
that's
comment
for.
made by someone who's never
Yeah.
won it.
Yeah,
So
you also can't drink out of a cup for an IP that's like more than 20 years old.
Yeah.
Did you get Monopoly?
Got
Did
in
you
there
get,
and said, "You know what tea is, right?"
I don't think they do Monopoly in
tickets?
America.
Oh.
Are they? We'll be back in 10 minutes, so yeah, go get yourselves refreshment, and we'll be right back, guys.
Yeah, enough rambling. Break time.
Hi, welcome back.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone who joined in the poll. I'm glad to say we all agree that drinking tea out of a straw is just disgusting.
Cup. Tea. Cup.
I mean, I bet I can guarantee 90% of you don't even do the ISO standard tea. So what are you even talking about?
Yeah, I drink coffee. Welcome back. Hope you're all refreshed. Hope you've all got your drinks. Hope you've all got your snacks. Yeah, we're going to get straight into this because we left on a cliffhanger and I want to know what's going on. We may have just destroyed evidence.
Yeah. You're like, well, we don't need the car anymore. The assassination's complete. All the evidence is in the car.
I just
back
hope
in the
there's nothing
spaceship.
else in that van that was valuable because it's just gone.
Yeah.
I mean, you had one
Let's just
job.
hope it doesn't fall down.
Oh dear.
It was,
Oh, must be
it
left
was
there.
empty.
I
Those
think he's
blood,
adjicking it.
It was empty.
It's now a verb.
It's blasting upstairs.
Yeah, it'd be like, oh, if our car travels at like 150 kilometers an hour, how long would it take us to reach wherever this thing is going to?
Great. A test. So, yeah, you basically set the vehicle to head upwards. You slam the accelerator down, the emitters charged, and it blew with a massive blast of air and bits flying in all directions quite dramatically, and lots of CGI. It goes basically blasting up through the clouds, and then all you can see is the whiteness of the emitters and its lights as it disappears up and up and up till it's completely out of sight, and so high it's probably gone beyond the clouds by now. And then up through the clouds, you see a white flash. Then the remnants of a rumble, like a faraway thunderclap.
Must have gone into
We've got a register. Yeah, we've got a register of an explosion 2.5 miles up. We've been warned to watch out for falling debris. One of the officers sort of turns around.
Let's go get some cover, guys.
Did something hit? Do we have any tracking on what just hit that vehicle?
One of the orbitals of it was a missile of some kind.
I want to know where it came from.
Changed trajectory and intercepted the vehicle. Okay, we'll check on that now. Processing. Give us a minute. We will like to repeat the warning of falling debris. Falling debris. Everyone should take cover in the area of the fake Hudson Bridge, please.
Yeah, I'm getting undercover. I mean, you guys can wait for confirmation.
Put the announcement out on our vehicle. I get the tannoy and I just say, could everybody please take cover? We're expecting fallen debris. Please, everybody, take cover. Take cover.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop, and I've got the sirens going.
And I get in the van.
Yeah, sudden rain.
The one that just blew up.
Chance of carburetor.
And then bouncing off your windscreen is a burnt pair of furry dice. And that's when everybody rolls a
Unexpected
D6.
crossover.
And I want to know if anybody rolls a 1, please.
Just a straight D6.
Straight D6. I need to know if you roll a 1, and this is as you're heading towards the vehicle.
Whew.
Older me.
Oh no! Look.
Goodbye, Lucas.
Tip, roll the 6.
Nice
He was
knowing
inside
you.
the van.
It was nice knowing you, indeed.
As you're heading towards the van, large chunks of debris, flaming debris, and melted bits and bobs are slamming into the ground around. People are running in different directions, but unfortunately one comes flying towards Lucas, even changes course and goes straight to him because it's a Roland Emmerich film. So I'm going to need you to make an agility roll, a D6 plus your agility, and
Do the
your
Matrix.
difficulty is going to be random. It'll be this +1.
Death by
Difficulty
third
is
line
going to
steering
be-
wheel.
5.
Oh yeah. Your difficulty was 3. What did you roll?
5.
5. Brilliant. As you sort of dive to one side, an exhaust panel slams into the ground next to you, like edge first, and literally digs into the ferrite. And yeah, if that had gone into that, it would have sliced you in half. There's bits and bobs falling around all over the place, slamming into the ground. But thanks to the warning by Tip, lots of people have managed to get themselves to cover. And number 5, nobody is injured.
Yeah. Chat has just made a really good point. Do I see the beeping box anywhere falling down?
Well, surely you'd hear it
Oh, you
more
mean the
than
one
you'd
that
see
can
it.
survive impacts from high orbit?
You said he could survive quite a bit. Is the box
Maybe-
still there
maybe-
beeping?
yeah.
You have to roll a D6.
Maybe Lucas found it.
You survive quite a lot. Yeah. I'm going to need you to roll a D6.
I rolled a
you have to
3.
Roll a 6.
Rolled
No,
a
you don't see
3.
it.
Okay.
You don't see it. All comes through to all your voxes, to your comm units, and it's your captain. Okay, guys, listen up. We have got a track on that missile. There's a ship in high orbit just sat there trying to hide behind one of the weather satellite clusters. We've got a trace on it. One of you, well, you've all got experience in orbit. They want an intercept ship up there straight away. So you guys get yourselves down to the launch to the south, and we can get you into orbit. We need you to board that ship and find out what's going on. If they are launching missiles into a populated area, that makes them a danger. There is a warship on her way. She's coming around from lunar orbit, but she's 3 hours out. You guys can get there in less than an hour if you're ready to go.
Have we got
Copy.
anything to make sure they don't leave?
At the moment, we're tracking it utterly and completely. If it does start to move, we'll be able to track its movements. At the moment, we don't have anything. We're hoping that they still think that they've not been detected. They've not moved their position since launching the missile. They actually
Okay,
dropped the
we're on our way.
missile, and it wasn't activated half an hour later. And then there's a laughter from the back of your vehicle, and that's that House of Earth member has awoken. He's just looking at you, laughing. They'll get you in the end.
Yeah,
We'll
so they
find
always
ya.
say, "Ho boy."
No, you don't understand what you're doing. You don't understand what you're allowing to happen. You can't go out there into the black. Queen Anonymous will lead us to salvation on Earth. If you go out there, that's it. It's over. If you wake what's in the dark, we don't belong out there. You don't understand. None of you have ever understood. You go out there and you're enjoying yourselves in the stars, thinking that you own them, thinking it's your property. It's not your property. None of it's your property. It belongs to them. And they'll come one day and they'll reclaim what we've taken. And none of you understand that. None of you understand.
Well, luckily, understanding was a part of my job description. So, good day, sir.
Oh, these fanatics.
He said, "Good day, sir." So he's basically just talking in that way constantly, and he keeps referring to Queen Anonymous.
Can I punch him in the back of the head again?
Sure. Make a strength test.
That's a 7.
You knock him unconscious. Thank God. The guy had a whiny voice. So yeah.
Oh, he
punches him in the back of the head,
slipped.
goes, yeah. Yeah. And there's nothing you can do. Well, obviously there is, dickhead. So yeah, he's out. He's out conscious. Sorry, he's out and unconscious, not out conscious. That's just a weird thing to say.
Ah. Captain,
gonna,
the turbulence on driving here just knocked him out. It's really strange.
If we're going to be busy up there, this way we'll
Yep.
keep him out for a couple hours.
Yeah, you've got a like a suppressor. So yeah, it's like a little unit you can put on the back of the cerebral cortex, and it basically just keeps you quiet, keeps you asleep.
We taking him up there with us? Or are we going to leave him with the locals?
I mean, we could drop him off halfway up.
Well, someone can meet us at the
We'll
launch
get him to the
pad.
station. We'll stop by there on the way to the hangar.
Well, there's a police launch at the hangar, so you can leave him there, and they'll take care of him. You go blasting south. It takes you probably about 15-20 minutes to get there. It's a big open area. It's just basically just like a launch pad. You can imagine an area that's been left unbuilt or flattened, so there can be a launch pad. So if it takes off and something goes wrong, there's plenty of places for it to crash without killing too many people. So maybe a couple of cyber rabbits. So it basically sat there, and it's just a normal launch on a ramp, just waiting to go for emergency launch. You go flying in, and you deposit the vehicle with the perp inside, and then you all get on board to the ship. It doesn't have a name; it's just a police launch. It's known as PL06. You all climb on board. It's just a small shuttle, surface to orbit, an orbit to surface shuttle, because it goes both ways. And it's fast, and it's unarmored and unarmed, but it's just basically like a fast intercept shuttle. Should get you to your target in about 40 minutes at full acceleration, which is gonna hurt. I'm not gonna lie. And do you know what I
Didn't think some of
forgot?
us don't have one strength.
Kadari. Yeah, Lucas. Earlier, when that piece nearly hit you, I was supposed to ask you to make a pressure roll, but I didn't. So I can ask you to make one now, please. Before I forget.
10.
And you made it. No, you're good. You still got 1 pressure point, so you're still sane. You take your positions inside. It's a very simple vehicle. Cockpits, single pilot, 6 seats behind, and then some rows of seats at the back, and a couple of catch cages and that sort of thing. And it's an engine. It's not built for comfort. It's not built for long distance. It's just a very, very stubby, crappy shuttle. You get yourselves in. You get buckled in. Who's taking the helm?
Yeah,
The two
Tip, I
usual
guess.
suspects.
Yeah, he's been driving.
So, I do apologise. 1 second. So, Tip, are you piloting, yeah?
Yep.
So I lost a little bit of connection there. I do apologise.
Yeah, Tip
So,
will
okay.
just go in just as before. Well then, we're going
Go
up.
to the seat. Everybody else gets themselves buckled in. The ship's already been warmed and prepped. All you need to do is just hit the pedal, and off you go. Hit the boost, and I'm going to ask everybody to make strength rolls. D6 plus your strength score, no bonuses, and the difficulty is going to be a straight 7.
5.
Not made
Anybody
it.
who rolls less than 7, he's going to fall unconscious.
5.
I know.
I'm driving. I'm
Tip, you're
flying.
piloting it.
I'm both
no.
glad and concerned.
Oh shit.
With my 10, I suspect I'm very
yeah.
quickly going to have to take the helm.
Yeah. There is a co-pilot seat. It's literally just behind the pilot seat. There's always a danger this is going to happen for an emergency takeoff. hit the boost, you all fall back into your seats. Sort of got that sort of like somebody's got your weight has just increased like 20-fold. A lot of you, yeah, like the old sci-fi movies are taken off. They've obviously got tape strapped to their cheeks, like that, and literally they're out, or there's somebody's blowing air into their faces. You're out unconscious. Tip, you pass out. Who's the secondary in helm?
Me,
Okay,
Lucas.
dive into the seat.
coincidentally survived it.
I need you to make a roll as well, then, please.
Yep.
A helms roll. So D6 plus your education and plus whatever you've got as your crew position. Not education, sorry, agility.
Oh, let me re-roll that then.
Oh God! Thank God! Thank God you're re-rolling. Thank God you're re-rolling.
That was a little bit. That was a little bit nasty.
Unless you just want to add one to that. I mean, it's your call.
No, roll again.
Oh yeah.
That's good.
So when you roll correctly, thank God. Yeah. So you get control. You take over, and literally within minutes, when you hit orbit and you start to slow the vehicle down for approach, everybody starts to come round. Yeah, that was a bit of a shock to the system, but yeah, K Darby stepped up. And you start heading towards the ship.
Well done, Lucas.
Basically, what you've got is this large cluster of weather satellites. Basically, they're all in a massive ring, so they can get more coverage and they share data. So if one goes down, there's loads of satellites up here. Your collision proximity warnings are going off all over the place. There is so much junk orbiting Earth, even worse than it is now, because it's the future. So there's more junk. And these satellites are designed so that there can be there's like redundancies. So if one goes down, another one will take over. And as you're sort of going around and sort of skirting around the edge of these satellites, you see this vessel parked there. If you can see the map, that's up there. It's a standard transport vessel. It's actually quite large, and its running lights are switched off. There's no transponder sequence coming from it. Even the name of the side of it has been burnt off. So there's no serial number that you can see. There's no name of the vessel that you can see. Everything about it is it's just sitting there like it's a hulk, like it's been abandoned.
Do we have the means to do a live scan?
Say again, sorry.
Do we have a means of doing a life science scan?
No. The only way you can tell if somebody's on board is by searching for identification chips, ID chips. But that scan brings up nothing. That's an automatic. That's like a passive scan that you've got on a police vessel. That brings up nothing. So as far as this vehicle, there's no lights. You don't see any lights in the bare windows that you can see. There's not very many windows on here. Maybe one or two, about halfway down, and then the windows of the cockpit. But there's no lights whatsoever. So it just looks like an abandoned starship.
Do we know when we're doing this scan on the chips and everything? Do we know that it's possible for criminals to hide that information or to have them removed?
Oh, absolutely. You can have a choice of IG chips. You can have it on like a credit card, which you can just stick in your wallet and it's there. Or some people have it surgically implanted under their skin so that they don't lose it. So if they want to pay for something, they just wave their hand at the scanner and then walk off. So you either cut it out or you just throw your card away. If you don't want to be found, you just don't have a chip. They're not mandatory.
Why are we making things mandatory?
Because that's fascism, and nobody wants fascism. And besides
It's
that,
the future is going to happen.
The corporations don't want accountability. They want to keep things secret as well.
Damn
And if they've got to keep things secret and they can't hide it from the rest of the people, otherwise they'll demand the same. So sadly, that's just the way things are. So anyway, you pull up to this ship. It's like I say, it's dark. It's quite foreboding actually. It's incredibly. It's an old ship as well. It's all dented. You see radiation burns and pot marks from micrometeor impacts and all sorts. There's a lot of patchwork done to it. So she's been around a little bit, probably about 30, maybe 35 years. So yeah, she's a hardy vessel.
I think we should head over there and wear our helmets, suit up, because don't know if life support's working over there.
Sorry?
Can I attempt to hack in to their systems?
There's no active computer. There's no way to connect. It's not broadcasting. It's not receiving. The only way you're going to know what's going on in there is by going on in the name of.
I say we just shoot it out.
Yeah, let's just
Your
gently.
vessel's
Yeah, let's,
unarmed, remember?
yeah, let's just gently push it
Ram it.
into a degrading orbit and call it a day. 3 decades
Come
from
on,
now, they'll
Article
die horribly.
47.2, derelict ships. We've got to board and check them out.
Do we see where the missile would have come from on the ship? Can we see if it's got maybe more missiles that are ready to go? Or, is it an armed ship that we're looking at?
It's not armed, but there are torpedo tubes on the underside of it. But it looks like they've been bolted on. There's two. One looks like the actual seal's been broken and the missile's been launched. Obviously, the one that's been launched at your vehicle. The other one is still sealed and has not been fired.
So there's
It's
another
not combat.
missile. There's another missile tube there that's been strapped on. Maybe we should take that out before it does any more damage.
What, you want to hang out and bash it with something?
Our
I
ship's
assume
unarmed.
our ship has got some weaponry.
Nope.
No,
No.
he said it was unarmed.
She's
Okay, I
unarmed,
roll down the
only-
window and I fire my little pistol.
Whoa, down the window.
Yeah, we're all dead.
Good.
I'll hold your feet. You hang out.
Everybody
We're
hold your
holding
breath
him
for 2 minutes.
It's a spinner window as well.
Everything goes quiet. He's by the door. He just goes. Okay, what do you want to do anyway? Sorry.
The
I guess we're
conservation
gonna
of
have to
momentum means
jump.
we now go further away from the ship than we were 5 minutes ago.
Tip, bring us around and hook up. Guys, suit up. Let's go. Don't make me quote Article 47, Section 2 again.
I am going to
About
report
wearing
it into
costumes
police
at
though
work?
that there is another missile.
Okay. They come back literally within 20 seconds. We have no other leads. Your guy down here is gabbling on. We don't understand what the hell he's saying. He keeps talking about this Queen Anonymous, and he keeps talking about other members of which we have no identification. Our only lead, he's just a small cog in a big machine. He's just been given orders. That's all he knows. The only lead that we have is on that ship. We're only going to need you to board it and get whatever information you can out of it. And bring back anybody who's alive on there.
Let's go meet the Queen.
Alright, we're getting close.
Now, your vessel does have a docking tube, so you can either suit up and go over, do an EVA. Oh, excuse me. Or you can actually press this docking tube. It'd be a soft dock with magnetics.
And
You
then we
press
can
this docking
test if
tube to
there's
the side
air.
of the vessel and then walk over. Yeah. And then,
Yeah.
And then,
Okay, let's do that.
pressurize it.
Yep.
Also
Yep.
comes
I
with
just
hand
wanted to
to
make
up
sure we
anyway.
weren't walking into
Yep.
no air.
It's worth suiting up anyway. If bullets start
Fair
flying
enough.
in there, we don't want.
Mm.
Walls aren't indestructible.
We don't even know if there's any atmosphere in that rig over there. It could just be a sentry for all we know. I look at Lucas and
only one way to find out.
we good. We're getting everything.
Okay, who's part of-
This is kind of me again because I'm awake
Okay,
again.
make your roll then. It's an agility roll plus your D6 plus your helmsman. See, as long as you don't roll below 6, you'll be fine.
That should be 11.
You, Top Gun. So you go flying in basically. You extend the docking tube and you position it just right. The docking tube attaches. The magnets activate and hold it steady against the vessel, and then the docking tube around the edge inflates to make the seal, and then it pressurizes. Yeah, so you're connected. Is anybody staying on the ship, or are you all going across? And who's going first is the main question.
As soon as we've connected, this isn't a proper port seal, is it?
No, I mean just the slightest nudge on one of the ships will break the seal.
Okay, so I'm going across.
Yeah,
I'm gonna,
like a mechanical
uh,
issue.
Get our emergency, first aid kit equipment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
Maybe
go
it's a
along
little
with
backpack.
Finn in case he needs backup on the other side for whatever reason.
Okay. Pascal,
Hang
Finn.
across, so once I've suited up.
And I'll be last
Okay.
in line.
Pip's still in the ship.
So who's going in
Second to last.
first? The
Finn.
door is
I
not
mean, if
sealed.
everybody's waiting, it's me. If everybody's rushing
Yeah.
off while I'm still suiting up, it's not me.
Finn is not going in first.
Yeah,
Finn's
that's
at
Lucas then.
gunpoint.
No,
Okay, so
no.
okay, no worries. So Lucas first, yeah.
Yep.
With his combat ability, you head up to the door. It's just a hand crank. You know it's like a little handle depressed into the actual thing yourself. You just put your hand in it and turn it, like the doors on the Discovery in 2001. So you literally just turn the handle and it does it, and bit by bit, and it opens. As it opens, you look into an airlock, and the sight in there is perfectly normal. It's just an airlock. So the door slides open all the way, sort of clicks into place. It's quite a large airlock as well, looking at the map. So yeah, you can head into there. It's not a problem at all. Oops, I've just completely lost my screen. There we have it. That's that location number 6 on the map. You can all fit in there if you have to, if you're all going in, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The inner door itself as well is unlocked. And there's a little bit of power. The power's on a minimum. It's enough to power life support and air circulation and the artificial gravity. But artificial gravity in this, they're like gravity plates on some ships. So they get charged and they stay charged even if the power shuts down for a good 20-30 minutes. You can still feel the gravity in these gravity plates. So you go over to the door, yeah, and like I say, there's a little bit of power. You can see your breath forming in front of your faces. It's really, really cold. So they've obviously shut the power right down to like silent running, so they're not detectable. Obviously, the following the missile gave their position away. So they go in, and the inner door sort of slides open, and then you have a corridor. Left will take you towards the cargo area, and right, and the engines, and right will take you towards the common area and the bridge.
Okay, I'm gonna
If
have
we're
my
gonna
gun
find
out.
someone. Yeah.
Very
Withdraw
dark.
weapons.
The only light
If we're likely to
is
find someone, it'll be
from
over by the crew
the,
quarters or
any
common room.
torches that you have.
Is there cameras beaming back to the ship? Oh, I've lost John.
Yeah, maybe on our helmets. Are there
Yeah,
cameras?
this Tip's still sitting in the ship because he hasn't got a hard lock. So,
Hold on, we lost
Oh.
him.
Oh no.
so
lost him.
we
Now
did
I'm
get
apparently
warning.
jamming across the street.
Take over. Take over.
Yeah, John
You're in
did
charge
mention
now.
that he does have a slightly dodgy router, and he was hoping to get a replacement in, but it didn't come in time. So this is probably related. This is probably related to that.
You know what this means, don't you?
Right, welcome to Kadara's session.
Yeah, you have to run it now. You can give us all the
Yeah.
gear. It'd be like, oh, you've now got combat exos, wrist-mounted like laser torches, shoulder-mounted light torches. Who knows?
Okay, Croy lean left, I'll lean right.
Wait. He's coming back in.
No, now we're on the same one.
Oh, when the video comes on, it should hopefully pop back to the right place.
Oh, now I'm Tip.
Yeah, I'm Lucas.
Oh,
play.
bollocks. Hold
Do we
on.
need to? It's all right. We can all rotate.
Oh, I'm back.
Yeah. Right, I'm
Uh,
sorry, my
back
internet
in-
went down. Very.
No problem.
Give me just
Right,
one
we'll blame
second.
our engineer.
Yeah,
Yep.
what the hell were you playing at?
Sorry,
Give
I,
me one.
I literally had one job.
I needed to charge my iPad. I'm just sorry.
Okay, hang on just 1 second. Just need to get back into everything.
Just asking
Oh,
if
dear
we
me.
had. We were
I'm
just asking
sorry.
if we
Where,
had.
where did we get to? What was I saying before?
We
We were
entered,
going
you
to
said
go
we
left
had
or right.
torches.
Left the cargo bay, right to go to the crew quarters common room.
Right towards the cockpit.
We were
that was
asking
it,
about if we
yeah,
had
yeah, yeah.
torches, like shoulder torches, which would make sense. I don't know.
Yes, you got small hand. You can actually got little Velcro sides to them, so you can attach them to your shoulder. There you go. I'm back in roll 20.
Body
Right,
cams.
blind.
Oh, we do have
Everybody
body
here-
cams.
And yeah, in the torches.
Okay.
Body
So,
cams.
Can
got
everybody
similar
hear
me
to
okay, yeah?
Article
Also, it's
18.
like on
Yeah.
my shoulder.
I can see and hear you.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone. I do apologise. Didn't mean to break the tension, but I've got crap internet. So, You can go left towards the cargo and the engines, or right towards the bridge with the shoulder-mounted torches that have got cameras in. Brilliant. We're back on track.
Let's go right. We need to find the people.
Are we going to split up?
Split the party?
Don't you know you never split the party?
Knock yourself out.
What do you want to do?
Finn is going to look for some sort of terminal that he can get on and start working on it.
The best place to go to for that is the either the bridge or the captain's quarters.
Do we know where any of that is on this ship?
Yeah, this is a standard layout ship. You can literally go onto your personal pad and literally just call it up, and it'll say, "Give me the details of this vessel," and it'll tell you straight away. It's a very, very common vessel, like I said. Yeah.
Yeah. So I will. So alright, I'll go see if I can get a terminal. See if I can shut this ship down or get some information.
Okay. You head into the terminal. Is anybody going with you, or are you going on your own?
I'll go with him.
This is a very, very. Gonna go with him, Lloyd. Yeah.
Like, no one should go
Sorry,
alone.
Pascal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are the rest of you going?
Lucas is covering the left currently because he went left coming through the door, breaching protocol. But I'm waiting to see if anybody goes anywhere else. If not, I'll just take up the rear.
Well, Finn and Pascal are heading up towards, in the opposite direction to the right, heading towards sort of bridge area. I mean, I assume, Finn, that you said that's where you're going to the captain's quarters to access the computer.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. So you're covering the corridor there, Lucas. So Dunham and Tip.
Tip stayed back in our craft, just securing it and then getting suited up. So he's a bit behind, and he just walks in, and sees Lucas there, and just stays there, waits at the corridor with Lucas.
Okay. And Dunham?
I am right in front of the opening.
Yeah.
Waiting for Tip to join us.
Gotcha.
With
so
my
Pascal
gun drawn.
With your gun ready, yeah. So Pascal and Finn, you head to the captain's quarters. Going through the corridor, looks like this ship's been heavily modified. You see, it's an old ship, like I say, but the conduits, which are all Cambridge Wallace labelled, a lot of it is brand new. There's some systems in here, the circulation systems, the scrubbers, there's monitoring systems, everything looks brand new. Some of them have even got the price tags still hanging off them. As you're sort of heading through the corridors, you turn right at the common room, through another open door into another corridor, which in here it's full of equipment. There's loads of storage boxes, and looking inside the storage boxes, they're all filled with even more Cambridge Wallace stuff. There's a box full of assault rifles. There's crates full of technical equipment, monitoring equipment. There's more of these little units disassembled, waiting to be used. This is high tech. There's millions and millions of adjusted dollars worth of credits worth of equipment down here, and a lot of it is brand new. Most of it hasn't even been serialized. A lot of these crates are supposed to have serial stamps on them, sort of date and expiry, that sort of stuff, so you know who the manufacturer was, where it was shipped from, everything. It's completely bare. These are just blank shipment crates. It's this is stuff that's basically been produced, and before it's been through the system and been registered, it's been taken.
Is it reasonable to assume that when Tip was setting everything up in the ship before he boarded, that he passed the feed of what he's seeing back down to Earth to the station or somewhere else?
Yeah, you can easily set that up. That's not a problem at all.
Yeah,
you can do
so
that. On your pad, you just click it. It starts to broadcast straight away. So basically, there's people down on Earth at the moment, alien style, in front of a bank of monitors, watching your heart rates, watching you moving around the vessel, and investigating, and all taking bets on who's going to die first. I've already made my bet.
Can we see it in our HUD in our helmets?
Yeah. You've got on your little hand units. You can see on the back. You can actually. It's basically you've got your guns, and there's a little slide at the back of the gun, so you can actually put your mobile units on the back of the gun.
There we
can
go.
actually move
There's
around.
an app for that.
Yeah, brilliant, fantastic. It's the future. Look.
There's always an app for
And-
that in the future.
Yeah, swipe right to
there's an
fire
app
your
for-
weapon.
Yeah, there's an app for infrared so you can shoot people more accurately. It's the future. So it's and there's little screens so what everybody else is doing, and you're in constant contact anyway through your headsets and earpieces and what have you. So you turn right at the corridor, and then you turn left where the captain's quarters is. And when the door opens, you're assaulted by this smell of staleness, like stale air, like it's not been open for a long time. And you've got this massive bank of computers. I mean, this is not the captain's quarters. This looks like something. This is like the Matrix. This is the Bridge of the Nebuchadnezzar. It's the screens on the walls, on the ceilings, and there's images of all kinds of different places all over the Earth. The starships you don't even recognise. It's like the inside of somebody's bridge, of people are having tea or something and chatting away as the ship's blasting through space. It looks like this thing is monitoring, and by the looks of it, it's tapped into the weather satellites to monitor loads of stuff all over the place. And there's somebody sat in a chair in front of you with their back turned to you. And you see loads of wires coming out of this chair, out the back of the chair, and then disappearing
end well.
up to different monitors and all sorts. What do you want to do?
You go flanking.
Beg your pardon?
Oh, you go
So-
left, I'll go right.
Okay. And yeah,
Don't
I take
pop
it
'em
you're
on the
doing it
head.
as like a.
Yeah. I'm not gonna just flap my hands around and hope you understand.
Not again! Call
Theater of the
doctor.
mind.
Yeah, so I'll understand what he means. I'm like,
I don't know what all that means, but I think you might have just said something about your mother. So, okay, so you both move in, go either side, and you see that it's a Sam, an automated person. It's not a real person, basically, it's an android. And it's sat there, and it's plugged into the chair, and a lot of the wires are going into the chair from the neck and from the back, from its back. And you see its eyes moving around constantly, because it's obviously monitoring all sorts of stuff.
is there a plug socket that it's plugged into that I can just unplug?
Could yank the
Make an
back of its head.
engineering roll. This is an absolute mess of wires and cables and conduits. You've not seen anything quite like it, actually. You've heard of SAMs being plugged into computer systems for monitoring purposes, but not to this extent. This is basically taking up all of his RAM time. He's only got
I
2
take
gigs.
it this is engineering with education.
Yes, plus D6, please. And the difficulty is going to be 8. So you've never seen anything like this before.
Roll
I have
good.
to roll a 6 to get an 8. God.
Roll good.
Oh my god.
I got a 9!
Yeah, give
Okay, I don't need a 6.
Can't do maths.
You check all the
No
cabling
mathing
and
on
you find a main power cable, which is coming from the back of the chair and heading into the power conduit on the wall. Very simple. You can literally just take off the panel. And there's like a double handle, you know, like what do you call it? Like a fire hose. And you get the handles, you pull them, and you yank it, and there's a click, and the SAM's head just goes, looks down, and all the screens start to flick off one by one. You can hear the power going, boo,
I hope you
and
didn't
all
cut
the
power to the
screens
whole
turn
ship.
off.
No, it
No,
should just be for him.
Set up. Yeah.
Or it.
And all the screens switch off except for the central screen. The central screen that stays on. And it's just a picture of a chair, an empty chair.
Does it look
I'm
like
Finn's
anything
just
like
going
this there,
to
or
walk
like
up and turn the
the cockpit?
monitor off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you walk up to turn the monitor off, it flickers and a voice emanates from the speakers around. It's a female voice, very deep, very well spoken. See that you have found one of my lairs. This is unfortunate, but it will not stop the work. It will not stop the progress, and it will not stop the movement. You have killed my contact in Cambridge Wallace, and you have killed my contacts on the surface, but there are more. There will always be more.
Wait, your contact?
It was a
And
pleasure
we'll
to meet
keep
you.
killing your contact, Queen Anonymous.
More will take their place. It was a pleasure
More
to meet you.
fall.
Just one last thing. Beep. And then the screen flickers off. And then you hear beep beep.
Yeah, I'm gonna
and the
locate.
ship.
I need to locate this quickly.
You see the missile launcher drop down slightly. The back falls off, and the missile goes. There's no sound in space, so it goes. That's off. And you see
Thank God that
switch-
missile had
switch on
facial
the
expressions.
Yeah, I was about to say, thank God it's going that way.
And out of my
Switch off-
backpack, I
Switch
pull
off
out.
resistance. Yeah.
Do I? I need to. I'm gonna find
we
this
need to get
beacon
away
box.
from here. Yeah, everyone listen out for a beep. It's another one of
Well,
those
I
tracking
should,
boxes.
I'm sure it's gonna be in this room, right?
That is very loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna grab it, and
Well,
Finn's
it's
gonna
actually
grab it and run.
It's actually magnetically sealed. It's magnetically attached to the underside
Just smash it.
of one of them.
Smash
Okay.
it before
What,
the thing
on the
orientates
desk
itself.
or the monitors?
On the underside of the desk. It's there, but it's attached.
Okay, I'm just going to attempt to rip a section off and just try and get it away.
Okay, then make an engineering test. Difficulty is going to be 7.
Do I get strength on this?
Can I help
would
him?
be strength plus
The power
engineering.
of teamwork.
Yeah, you get a +1 to that if Pascal's
I
helping
got an
you.
8.
An 8, brilliant.
With
Managed to get
plus
it
1,
off.
that's 9.
What are you going to do with it?
I am going to run to the airlock
Yeah.
and I'm throwing it out.
You may want to go through the
No.
you may want to go through to our transport,
You're gonna
wind the
open
window down, and then chuck it out the other
Why
side.
the window down and lock it out again?
I'd love it if you get to like our car just the moment it
Yeah.
comes around.
I'll go to the airlock, but as an engineer, I wouldn't know if there's like maybe some small tube port or thing I could get near quicker to jet it out.
Sadly,
Otherwise,
no.
I'll go to the airlock.
This is the toilet. But unfortunately, that means disassembling the wall to get it to fit because it doesn't take turns.
Oh, that's a shit
you
job
get
to
it-
do. I'm not doing that.
Hey! So the only other way is to get down into the into the cargo bay, and drop it into the cargo airlock. You can see it in location 8. It's got the cargo lift there. You can put it into there, pressurize it, and then blow it out of there.
We're not attached to the actual airlock of the shit, though, are we? I thought we just.
We are.
Oh no, we sealed it.
No, there's only
Oh
one airlock.
shit. Okay, I'm gonna get running. I'm going for it.
You're going to be literally. It's going to be really tight to get down there and to eject it out in time. I'm going to have to ask you to make 2 agility rolls at difficulty 7, and you're going to have to pass both of them to succeed.
Okay.
In the meantime, what does everybody else want to do?
Ooh, as I run, I'm going to shout to Pascal, and I'm going to be like, "Tell him to get this ship moving, because that'll give us more time if the ship's moving."
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyone who wants to fly the thing, I mean, if we just see a get it moving, I can probably try and just turn it on.
Look for the throttle.
Oh, that's going to dislodge our actual ship.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was.
The missile has now reached. An
Tip did spend a bit more time securing it rather than just being their little quick lock.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll hold on. Yeah, I'm just gonna try and get the thing moving if I can.
Okay, you want to use the bridge. There are no controls on the bridge. All the seats have been removed. The steering equipment has been removed. By the looks of it, it was all being controlled from this ROM room, which is now powered down.
Super.
Pip's gone back into our ship, and he started up the sequence to get our ship back up and operating again and ready.
Yep.
Everyone else brace for impact, I guess.
Yep. What are you going to do? This is a big missile. This is a shipbreaker. If this hits the ship, it will vaporize the vessel and everybody on board it.
Had to get
Not
back
gonna
to
know.
had to get back to our transport, I think, and just get as far away as we can. Because we can't. I've got no way of directing this thing. I assume it's just going to blow up.
Can I use the ship sensors, our ship sensors, to get anything resolving the travel, the speed of this missile and how long we've got? Am I able to track it?
You've probably got you've got less than 30 seconds.
And I'm like, get on the ship.
That's a bit tight. You've got enough time. Like I say, you've got enough time to get back to the ship.
Get on. I'm going through the tannoy. I'm saying,
Back to
we're
the
powered
ship.
up. We're ready to go. Get back on the shuttle.
Okay, so the people that can get on the vessel with no problems is going to be Dunham, Lucas, and Tip. Tip, you're already on there. The other two are waiting by the door. So that just leaves Pascal and Flynn. You're going to have to run back and get back onto the
Bye,
vessel in
guys.
time.
And he's
I'm gonna
running
ask-
with this thing to get it out into space.
Yeah.
But if we
I
leave
don't
the
know.
ship,
Or
it
you can
doesn't
leave it
matter if
behind.
doesn't
It's up to
ship.
you. You're still going to blow it out the airlock.
Yeah, I'm gonna blow it out of the airlock. We need to save this ship. This ship is literally the only thing we've got.
You're right. Pascal, what do you want to do?
If we lose this, we've got nothing, and then we're on cold trail.
Yeah, we need to just get out of here.
That's why I'm getting it to the back of the ship, because then even if it does hit the ship, the core that's at the at the front some of it may survive.
The missile's also at the front of the ship, though, so it's going to go through the ship to get to the back
Yeah,
of the ship.
No, because it's
think-
turning round. It's turning
Yeah.
round. It's going
Yeah, I think-
round.
It's
That's
fucking
the front of the
forwards
ship.
and turned round. It's coming back from
No,
the front.
no,
Yeah.
it's got
I
a
think
slow
yeah.
arc turn. It's going all the way around.
I think
Oh,
given the
okay.
size of the
Okay.
missile, the size of the ship, I don't think it's going to matter where you put the little box. Just chuck the
my
box and
aim
let's
is
get
to
off
get it
here.
out. No, my aim is to get it off the ship entirely. So,
Okay, so you're going to run down to the cargo lift, yeah?
yep.
Oh, excuse me. Okay, so you run down to the cargo lift. Sorry, Pascal, what were you doing?
I was just heading back to our transport.
Heading back to the transport. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Pascal, it's just down to you then, Finn. You run down to the cargo room, to the cargo area. The cargo lift, thankfully, is already open. So all you need to do is just chuck it in, close it, pressurize, and blow it. And it's a really quick operation.
Yep.
But you're gonna have
Okay.
to make 2 agility rolls.
All right,
and
come
both
on,
of
you can
them,
do this.
You're gonna have to roll 6
You can do this. You can do this.
Okay.
or more on both rolls.
First
Your
one.
first roll.
5.
Finn, get out of there. Now you can either make an agility roll to blow it out, or you can You can try again. Make an agility roll, give you a chance. Make an agility roll of 8 or more to actually get it blown out, or make an agility roll of 6 or more to get back to your ship in time to escape. It's a dilemma. What do you want to do?
I'm going for the 8. I'm going. I gotta
You're gonna go
get.
for the 8.
I gotta get this thing out. It's 3, so I'm gonna get a 5 or 6. So I'm a 1 in 3,
You're gonna go
or
for it?
1 in 3 of succeeding here.
Okay, that's your choice. But if you do fail, you're not going to escape the ship on time.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
But I'll
Okay,
be a
make-
hero.
Go for it. Make your roll.
Damn you! Oh,
You realise at that point you're not going to make it. So what are you going to say to the others? Okay, guys, I've done it. What are you
Would
gonna
we
say to the
even
others?
hear him from
Well, on the
where we
comms?
are? Oh, the comms, yeah.
Yeah.
fuck you, Lucas.
You
Live
can
long
make
and
it,
prosper,
run!
my friend.
Don't give up.
If you're going to disconnect and go,
Yeah.
We can't leave him. And I start running toward the door.
Just
door
go.
cycles shut.
Yeah.
Go.
Close them all.
You slam the door shut. You pull away before the actual seal has had a chance to disconnect. It pretty much rips the docking tube off.
Yeah.
You sort of turn the ship, hit the full boost, and you blast away from the vessel. Finn, anything you want to do?
I told you I'd leave it behind.
Sat in the cargo bay.
How long have I got?
About 10 seconds.
I've still got the bleeping thing. Do I not get it out?
Maybe you should lean up the
Um,
ship and try and shoot the missiles that's coming at you.
Yeah, run out the window. So, what do you want to do? Your last 10 seconds.
I'm going to open
that
up the
works.
airlock.
Yeah.
Because
If you
I'm
space
thinking
yourself, we could.
if I could open up the airlock, it will minimize the damage because it will vent all the air out.
As you're falling, we could swoop on.
Yeah, we could catch. Yeah,
I
Because
just
if you-
finished
I'm the missile.
just on damage control. He needs to protect something of that core on the ship. So if he vents all the air out by opening the hangar, then the explosion shouldn't be as bad.
Well, if you blow the bolts on the
Yep.
airlock door, you will be sucked out into space.
Yeah, I know. He's doing it. He's dead anyway.
You hit the emergency release. You pull the handle. The bolts blow. The door blows off, and then you're sucked out into space. When you watch it from the ship, you see the bottom of the vessel explode outwards. The doors spin away, and you see this little figure with a little flashing box disappear out into the blackness.
And his last dying breath, as his eyes pop in the vacuum, he throws the thing.
Yeah.
Why did you
And then
take
the
this thing
missile
off?
streaks underneath and slams into the box. Of course, it explodes. Finn, you're vaporized instantly, unfortunately. The whole thing just explodes, and the vessel that explodes underneath is rocked and thrown upwards. Can somebody
What's
roll
the
a
facial
D6?
expression? What's the facial expression of that explosion?
It's this. So, if you can roll a D6, one person can roll a D6. The last person off the ship. So, Pascal, can you roll a D6 for me, please? And don't roll a 1.
Close enough.
Hey, it's not one.
Finn, the ship is damaged. I mean, absolutely buggered, but it's intact. That drifts away.
Finn doesn't know that as he dies. He's already dead. He doesn't get that knowledge and satisfaction.
I claim the ship as salvage.
Yeah. Get your bonus and piss off to Mars. So, yeah, the ship tumbles away. It's really badly damaged, but it's intact, and that's the main thing. The explosion sort of comes out. Debris starts bouncing off the hull of your shuttle, but it's not large enough to be a threat as you blasted away at the same sort of speed. And then you receive comms from the incoming warship, which is now 20 minutes away, asking if you require assistance.